you reign!
This is the DcX podcast with your hosts,
Who is Ravage?
Ryan Ruckman,
Ravage!
Hand me that bottle cap.
Miles Kane,
Hand me that paperclip. Grab that twine. Gun wrapper.
Daniel Schwab,
We are
best friends, Asgard to mouth, and Pete.
'cause I'm just me.
Welcome back to the DcX podcast. I'm your host Ryan, and with me as always are Miles, Dan, and Pete. Miles, fresh off talking cliX, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. Yeah, it was fun. I think I allowed people a little bit behind the curtain for the true Miles.
Sure. Would you say it's
Miles versus real?
Would you say it's going
like a fire rocket?
Yes. I mean, I couldn't even say it better, honestly.
okay?
I guess if I had to say like what it felt like, it would have to
Like
be
a fire rocket.
Dan, just a few short days before you head to Alabama for H for H. Are you ready?
As ready as I'm gonna be. I still have like way too many things to do before I leave, and I leave Thursday morning.
Are you saying that you're ready?
Like a fire rocket.
In like 36 hours? Yeah.
Good.
But better get packing then.
That's the best drop we've ever had.
And Pete, thanks for joining us at cliX last night.
Hey, thanks. It was good to be back. I was excited to play cliX, and I'm super excited that Oxid is rocking and rolling, and there's a new threat in the Oxid app. It's totally not Ravage. That guy's a menace.
It is not me.
Also, the 1 week I can't make it, you get to make it to cliX. Dang it, Pete.
Yeah, I had some good games. Ollie and I finished up fighting each other and just like a complete like brute on brute violence. It was a pretty fun game though.
Yeah, there's some pretty brutal games actually last night. They were big. Then we got joining us for the second time, our very own local tryhard, Ryan Bookwood. Bookwood, what's up with you?
Not much. Just chilling with you guys, trying not to laugh my ass off after that one.
All right, and really quick, we're just going to check in with Tooth Grinder and Tooth Gnasher. How are you guys after the debut on last week's podcast? Great.
All right. I'll be honest, like they sound like they went off.
A fire rocket.
They really did.
This is already high quality content.
I could even hear his review of Tooth Gnasher or whatever it was, because it's like you kept playing that drop and it's like rah, rah.
It's so good.
Now, Bookwood, did you notice there's actually two drops? Rebin, do you want to display it for him?
Yeah, so there's this one. It's a little short and to the point. Then we got this one. A little longer, a little more emotion.
The first one's a quick two-tone scream, and then the second one's got a little more emotion attached to it.
Exactly.
A little more oomph.
Exactly.
Yeah, I heard that.
They're sticking around.
A little bit of harmony. Yeah, a little bit of harmony in the last one. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of connection, a little bit of love in that second one.
All right, we do have a little bit of news here. When we started this podcast a little over a year ago, we had no interest in ever starting a Patreon, but we have something really cool that we want to start working on, so we are actually going to launch one. We'll have the link in this podcast post on Facebook. No pressure on joining it, but it'll have access to monthly giveaways and hopefully help us get moving on working on this a little bit quicker. And then this weekend...
One thing I can guarantee is it won't make the podcast any better.
And I'm also working on exclusive quarterly T-shirts for a tier as well. So
Yes, that will be the second tier. And we'll add more tiers and all that stuff. We're just kind of launching it so that we can get moving on this project. And then this weekend is Hero Clicks for Huntingtons and the Rock Cup. Dan will be the only one of us that's there. He'll be judging and then streaming the games live on our YouTube channel. Dan, is there anything you want to add to that?
No, I'm just a part of the judge staff. So, Aaron's still head judge. He runs the show. I am just a peon. So, but I will be streaming. We'll have 2 setups. One for usually top table, and then the other one will be the special event. So
That's a mighty judge staff.
There's been some strong judge staffs lately at a lot of these events. After no Bookwood report last week, we have a very special one this week.
Wake up in the morning, check the Bookwood scene. Every headline popping up on my screen. News is shaking, got the wood on fire with the Bookwood report taking us high. Bookwood report, get your fix today. Keeps us moving, lighting up the way. Breaking stories never miss a beat. Every headline, feel the city's heartbeat. Depth of coverage, you know it's staying on. Bookwood report, where the truth goes on. Bookwood report, rocking loud tonight. Fueling passion, shining bright light.
Pete, what's on the report this week?
Hello, friends. You know, after the original Bookwood Report song, you're getting a very, very special edition of the Bookwood Report. And this is a lot. Bookwood was a little bit of a degenerate these last couple weeks. He started out with a very favorite piece of mine, Prime Vision, the GOAT, not to be confused with our favorite goats. Then we got ourselves Giant Man 2, a Rhino, Arrow, and a Legacy Juggernaut figure. Then he got himself another Chase Magneto, Juggernaut Chase, Tony Stark Chase, Captain America Chase from one and only our fearless leader, Ryan Redman. Then Bookwood continued with Legacy cards, both Hercules and Druid. Then he got himself a Prime Abomination, another Arrow, Titania, and he told me to take notes. And I'll get into that a little bit. Then he grabbed himself a Chase Thor. Moving on, Prime Destroyer from some prizing, and we'll get into where his prizing came from. And then he got himself a bunch of one-shots and terrain, Wrecking Ball equipment, and moving on, he got himself a Tooth Gnasher, a Soul Gem, another favorite, and then a Captain Marvel Chase, and then he wanted me to let everybody know he did get an iPhone 16 Pro Max for free. Now, after all of that, I have one question for our favorite local tryhard. Is there anything else you would like to add to the Bookwood Report?
Of course. Just recently, I got a Zenzi Pog. You might have seen my post, but I pulled it off. And I did get Freya, too. I forgot to put that in the report. And it's going
you
to
mean Frasier Crane?
Frasier Crane. And it's going right to Dan for Hulk, Chase Hulk. So also Chase Hulk.
Yeah, that's a huge news because that's Dan's favorite TV show of all time. He loves Frasier.
Any plans
That's
for any of
quite
those
the Bookwood
pieces?
Report.
It was.
Yeah, I'm gonna play him.
That's
And
a
then
great
when
plan.
I play him, when I play him, you're gonna complain about that I'm playing him.
Yeah, probably. I'm gonna bring a nice,
Not
fun
probably.
team, and then you're gonna bring Plants and Spot.
Well, considering none of those are plants and spots, so no.
He really took the high road there. I figured he was going to tell you you're going to play him wrong.
Well, that's just given already. He always, everything I do is wrong. Everything I do is trash. Like, what was it on Saturday? He's like, "Hey, do you have a dumpster fire?" I'm like, "Are you talking about my team?" And he was like, "No, the terrain." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I have that." I just assume he's talking about my team being trash.
Oh, Bookwood, you
Works
picked
both
up on
ways.
the Redmond backhanded compliment pretty quickly. So
I did.
All right,
After like countless times, I finally got it.
well, it's not going to stop.
I know.
Let's get into this last weekend. So Dan, Bookwood, Oliver, and myself headed to Illinois for the HEL event. It was a unique style 2v2 Highlander event where after Swiss, your team made cut based on the teammate with the best record, and then once in top cut, you played as individuals, but depending on how your teammate did, you could still place higher. I teamed with Ollie, and then Dan and Bookwood teamed up. Let's see. I played a new team that I've been working on with a lot of the Sinister Syndicate people. So I put Swarm with the Universal Weapon on. He was a lot of fun to play. I really have just been wanting to play him. And then the Chase Mysterio, Chase Sandman, of course, Chair Panther with Avatar of a Tomb, Elsa Bloodstone with the Dream Ruby, Perdegaton, Daredevil with the Destroyer armor, since he gets that for free now, and then a Shield Operative Pog and a Timebreaker. So the Dream Ruby was to give that to Sandman. That really didn't come into play too often. And then the Shield Operative was there to increase Sandman's range for the poison. Also, that just never has come up. So there's a couple of changes that I'm going to make to this team. Let's see. There was 3 rounds of Swiss. And so the first round I played Patrick Hartley, who had a War Machine and New Chase Iron Man team. That one I was able to take 255 to 15. And then I got a rematch with Matt Prignano's Plants, round 2. And I was able to beat him in this one. He had, I think it was pretty much the same team. He doesn't have it listed here. Did he make any changes to it? Do you guys know? From Adepticon?
Yeah, he didn't have Chair Panther because of the Highlander format, so I can't remember what he put in its place. I think it was Jennifer Kale.
Oh, yeah. I think
He
it
had,
was.
yeah, he had Jennifer Kale.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. The big difference was Kale over Panther.
Okay. Yeah, so I was able to get that one. And then in round 3, I played AJ Henderson. So he had a pretty mean spot team, and I just misplaced the first move with my barrel, and he came in with spot on turn 1, and it was not great for me. So I ended up losing that one. And then we made top cut still. Dan, do you want to go in? Or wait, let me go into Ollie's team real quick. So we kind of built Ollie that team that we were talking about with the Legacy Juggernaut. And so we had Legacy Juggernaut with Bucky's Arm. We had Black Beetle, Caveman Wally West with a +1 longsword, the Captain America from the Kooky Quartet, a Timebreaker Pog, and then a Copycat Pog and a Zenzi Pog. So the idea here, and then Cathan was on Juggernaut. So Juggernaut right out of the gate was with Bucky's Arm, and Cathan was a 13 for 6, and then if we were able to place him next to Black Beetle when he ended his movement, he got the Empower, and then adjacent friendly characters modify attack +1. So he did get this off at least a couple times, pretty close to that. What was it, 14 for 7? I definitely helped him win his 7th game, or his 2nd game. And he was able to place Wally West. He's on there to pretty much just attack and then take the super senses away from characters that have that. Zenzi is giving Juggernaut Battle Fury to not have to worry about the shape change on a few characters. And then Timebreaker is obviously there for the movement. The Captain America is just really good at 25 points with leadership and perplex. Copycat can grab the perplex. And then Black Beetle, one of the biggest things with Juggernaut is that he doesn't want to deal with that traffic barrel. So Black Beetle, he was able to catch a couple people off guard too, and he placed the traffic barrel and even the plant terrain when he played Matt Prignano the first round. So it was kind of cool to see Black Beetle get some play. He definitely worked out well for his team. Dan, what did you play?
Oh, is there a reason why phone booth was on sideline, or was that just a mistake?
Oh, because he can generate it. So after the movement.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. That's yeah.
Yeah. So and like,
because I was almost thinking 10 particles with Juggernaut, so that way he's giant and he can just carry Black Beetle.
Well, he's supposed to pick up the heart-shaped herb.
Oh, okay.
And then I think we tried to kill something turn 1 also, so that he could. Oh yeah, he was supposed to bring out Beetlejuice and KO a Timebreaker so that he could cannon event turn 1 also, and then Juggernaut couldn't get attacked. That's right. So we had a little plan. It worked pretty well. He liked the team a lot, and he'll probably run a variation of this. Obviously, instead of the phone booth, probably do the traffic barrel. But since it was Highlander, I needed the traffic barrel, so we made a couple of changes from what we would be doing. But he liked it a lot. It was pretty cool to see the Legacy Juggernaut running around doing 14 for 7 to multiple people at the same time. All right, Dan, do you want to go?
Yeah, I can go. So I played Legacy Odin with the Destroyer armor, and then I played Death Metal Wonder Woman with the +1 longsword. I played the Collector's Trove Thor with Mjolnir, and then War Machine with Universal Weapon because I needed Prob and TK. And then I had the Heart-Shaped Herb and another piece of blocking terrain, and then my sideline was Ares, Chthon, Poseidon, and Cannon Event. Because it was the Highlander, so like a lot of my stuff that I was usually using on this team, like Bookwood was playing, so I swapped out a bunch of stuff to compensate for it. So, but it,
so it was different than this because this one has To Me My Hammer.
Oh, sorry, yeah, and it had To Me My Hammer as well. Yep.
What about your rounds, the Swiss rounds?
Oh, I played Logan Prignano first round, which was hilarious because it was basically a Adepticon rematch. But unfortunately, I still lost because he called Juice out turn 1. He called him out turn 1, and I just couldn't get over there because basically it shuts off all of my stuff. Like Thor can't charge and do his range, like throw the hammer at people. Odin can't do his stuff. So I was very just debilitated first turn, and honestly, Collector just ran around, shot at me, and basically crippled my team slowly. I tried to so I had Thor in place. I just stood him in place because he could survive long enough with his revive to try to throw the hammer, and then I crit missed on that attack, and it was basically over after that because I was gonna drop it on because he had Kevin and Timebreakers in the back along with Beetlejuice, and if I hit Kevin and get him off and kill a Timebreaker, he has to murder his last Timebreaker to keep Juice out or pull him back in, and then I can kind of pivot the game back a little bit more in my direction. So, but unfortunately, that was not how that played. So I lost my first round. Second round was Patrick Hartley, who I think you mentioned played the Soldier team, right?
Yeah.
It was a tough match for him because I just was able to pick him apart because I can shut one of his figures off, and I had higher range than he did, and being a giant, even though he stuck me indoors, he stuck me in on the new map from Spider-Verse. I think it's the museum. There's pretty long sight lines down that map. So, and then my third match was against Andrew Parker, who played, or sorry, my match 3 was against Braylon Prignano, which I believe was Matthew's son. He played Phoenix Force Wolverine, and my team does really well against one-man armies.
Whoa,
the stock
you
list
buried.
What was that?
You buried some news there. There's another flying Pragnano.
Yes. Well, he has to earn the shirt according to them. So
that makes sense.
It's not just given.
No.
Yeah, he's a floating Prignano right now. Or falling with style.
And no, he just got kicked out of the nest, basically. He's got to figure out how to fly after that.
Yeah.
That was your round 3, right?
Yes, that was my round 3. My round 4 was then Andrew Parker, who played a Sinister Syndicate team. So he had Sandman at 75, Swarm, Spot with Hell Cycle, Mysterio, and Norman Osborn. Me being able to shut off Spot was huge because he can't drag me over there. And then he moved everybody up, and he cleared out some blocking, which allowed Thor to just come in, and I did his trick, and I murdered Mysterio and got Spot to last click in one go. And then I just proceeded to like pummel Sandman until he was gone because I did not want to deal with the not being able to reduce damage. And I picked him apart after that. The team was like, I knew what it did because I've seen you play it. It's not the same thing because it's like full Sinister Syndicate, but I know how deadly between Mysterio and Sandman and Spot. I just like, no, those guys got to go. Norman was very effective, and Swarm was still really good. She had the Bloodstone, so not being able to heal and having to hit her like 6 times to KO her was pretty rough.
Yeah. Let's get into, before you go anymore, because that was after Top Cut, right?
Yes, that was Then we were into Top Cut after that.
Bookwood, do you want to go over your team and your first 3 rounds?
Yes. My team was Swamp Thing Prime at 75 with Avatar Conchu. Spot with the Health Cycle. 99% of the time I was on Sidestep and Poison. Mysterio, no equipment. Sandman, nothing. Chair Panther with Avatar of a Tomb for the 6 range outwit. And then Perdigaton, usually had him on the Poison click and outwit. I think one game I had him on TK, but I had Ares. Ares? I didn't have Ares on the sideline. I had a Tomb, a Conchu Mimic in the treasure chest, and then I had the barrel. And then my first round, I played Nicholas, no last name. He played the new Juggernaut at 145, Kong, Titania, and Kangaroo. This game, I cleared him out. He moved up Kong mid map, and that was a mistake because Spot just grabbed him and then took him down. He did the same thing with Juggernaut, and it was over pretty quick. Second round, I played Steven. Sorry if I butcher your name, Lefebvre. He was a collector team. This is the match I was kind of hoping to get, so I can see if this was going to be worth it. He had Biogram Image, Broadsword, Destroyer armor on the collector, so he was sitting at a 22 defense. He had Brother Voodoo Prime, which I know you love, Redmond.
He's good.
He's good, but he didn't help him. He didn't help him out much here. He had the Chase Harley Quinn, then Copycat. So what he did is I think I went first. He put me on Monster Island, your favorite map, and I think I had TK out for Perdigaton, and then he brought out Collector like mid map because I just kind of sat back waiting for him to make a move, and then Spot went in, grabbed like he hit that 22 defense, and it was game over. I brought him over. I think I had 3 Mysterio clones, and we just started poisoning him to death, and then I one turned his Collector, and that was kind of the game right there.
That's crazy.
I was even shocked. Round 3, I played Ricky Pregnano. It was a revenge game for the Icy. He was playing Plants, and this is the game where I learned how to use Sandman on the fly because he set up all his plants, and then I destroyed 3 of them, and I forgot about his Smoke Cloud is free, and also destroys terrain markers. So I left 1, and then he Quake arrowed my team. I survived by a thread, and then I got rid of that plant marker, and then we were kind of like trading blows back and forth. I KO'd his Man Thing, and then that was it. So I beat him 55-0, and then that was my round 3.
And then what about we already started top 4 or round 4. Do you want to go into that one?
Yeah, this was Braylon. I didn't know he was a Pregnano, so that was news to me. He played the Phoenix Wolverine. This team scared the absolute shit out of me because I did not I played this piece before, but I didn't realize his stop click was also affected by the D6 roll for adjacent opposing characters.
Yeah, you probably played it wrong.
Oh, probably, wouldn't be the first time or last time, but
No.
He came over, I got him, got him to a stop click, and then he's like, all right, I'm gonna roll, and then he did 6 penetrating the spot and blew him right off the map. I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. I'm like, this is gonna be interesting. So we were trading paint back and forth. He got Spot. I think he got Swamp Thing. He got somebody. I can't remember who, but I finally got his Phoenix Wolverine. I was a little nervous in this game because I'm like, man, this is a lot more ferocious than I thought. So I ended up getting him, and I learned a couple things about that Phoenix Wolverine. He's gonna be a beast in silver.
Oh, for sure. That was round 4. So then Oliver had to play AJ Henderson. So we went over his team. He was playing the Spot, and then he also had, I think it was Swamp Thing, Diana, Zenzi, and so that was not great for Oliver. He, I think, lost his Juggernaut pretty quick, and I don't think the match lasted too long. And then I played his partner, who was just on here. It says plain old Eric. And then he had a Masters of Time team, and it had Super Soar and Flash Raptor. and we just had a big slog in the middle, and I was able to take this one with just a lot of poison damage again, and a few attacks from Elsa. So 375 on this one, and then that took me to round 5. Oliver's day ended in this round. Dan, do you want to go over round 5 real quick for you?
Yes. So round 5, I played Xavier Holmes, which was Wakanda Hulkbuster, which was the Wakanda Hulkbuster at 125, Vox Ignis, Forge from Deadpool Weapon X, and then Frenchie with the Destroyer armor, and then he had To Me My Hammer. So he basically popped Vox onto Wakanda Hulkbuster, and then he also popped Frenchie onto him, and then which allowed him to then equip it via like To Me My Hammer first turn. But with my one free action, I just turned off everything with the Hulkbuster, and so he had to walk over to me, and I was able to just, I think I one-turned the Hulkbuster, unfortunately, and then he called out Beetlejuice as like a last ditch to try to slow me down, and then it was just like back and forth. I think I ended up scoring Beetlejuice too, yeah, because Death Metal, she got on her flurry clicks and just shredded him. So it was that was interesting because it was I was like, well, I can't outwit him, but I can just turn him off, and he has to walk over here to me because he put me on Vibranium Mines, which is outdoor, so I could see him with Odin because I'm giant.
Mm-hmm.
So I just like TK'd him around and shot at him every chance I got until he got over to me.
Yeah, I liked Vox a lot when I had him on Arachnite. Did he work well on the Wakanda Hulkbuster? Was he worth the points?
I'm sorry, which one? The Destroyer armor?
No, the Vox Ignis on Wakanda Hulkbuster.
For the outwit, definitely, yeah. But because he's like a charge piece, by the time he got to me, I mean, I had already like hurt him quite a bit. So like his minimum, like whatever, what is it, minimum 4 range, the Psychic Blast, that stuff didn't really come into play, and then he wasn't really able to do a whole lot after that, unfortunately. So then he just popped him out, and then I just based him. Honestly,
So he wasn't even trying to keep him in stealth at all.
No,
That's
he
actually-
didn't. No, he didn't. I was really well. Vibranium Mines doesn't have any hindering, and he didn't actually blow up any of the blocking that he placed, which I was really surprised.
Yeah.
I thought he was just gonna blow up the blocking and sit there.
Yeah.
And he just walked him over to me. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna shoot at you multiple times.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Vox actually rotating to silver. I think he's got a chance to do a little bit more there because I think he's 90 points.
Yeah, he's very cool. Like, don't get me wrong. I think it was counterintuitive because you're putting it on a close piece. That was my only thought. Like, I know it works. It worked well with like Arachnite, but I think it's good. I don't know. It was more because it took him so long to get over to me because he has charge flurry and an 8 speed. So like, even though he's a giant, he's only getting that 5 square reach.
Yeah.
Oh, and yeah, I think that the other thing I shot first was Forge because I was like, no, you're not getting support for free on Hulkbuster every time.
And then round 5, I had a rematch with Matt Pregnano from earlier. We changed it up a little bit with the way that we fought on the other side of the map. And I was able to grab his Beta Ray Bill through the wall. And I think I was able to... Did I one-turn him? I think I was able to one-turn him. He wasn't able to grab him back. And then we just, again, kind of traded blows back and forth. And then he went up on me at the end of his turn. And then time was called before I could do an outwit and double poison that would have put me back ahead. So it felt like a really quick round. But we got, I think, like 4 turns in. So it was another good game. And so I think we've played 4 constructed games now against each other. And we're 2-2. Just keep trading wins. Bookwood, what about your round 5?
Round 5, I played Lance Miller. He played a team called Spider Thor. It was Captain Universe with Trick Arrows at 100. Prime Spider-Ham with Stormbreaker. TV Spider-Man. Prodegaton at 40. And Madam Web Legacy. And then he had Canon Event and Rivalry. Basically, first turn, I think I went first. I don't remember, but either way, I grabbed his Captain Universe and just destroyed him. And that was basically the game. Then the Spider-Ham went down, and then, I mean, it was pretty quick. Yeah, Spot just went over, grabbed him. He couldn't range me because he was based. I put him in the poison pits, and then just went to town on him.
Now, at first I thought that Spider Thor was going to be on this team, and he doesn't seem to be on this team.
That's what I was looking at the team like I don't remember facing Spider Thor. Then I clicked on. I'm like, oh, I remember this team now.
Okay. Did
Yeah, I think
did you grab Captain Universe before he was able to do anything big? Then.
yeah, he had him. He had him. I'm looking at the map right now. He had him like I per Degatoned him. Yeah, Degatoned him across the on the A16, and then I was like on P2. That's where my team was, and I just sent the marker over there, grabbed him because he was separated from the team, and then there was that piece of blocking on the right side, and I just set up the kill box, and he couldn't do anything.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know if he was based, there's little he could do. I was a little nervous about the attack power at the end, but I figured I could take him down. I think I put some smoke in there just in case.
Mm-hmm.
To put him down to a 10 attack just in case I couldn't kill him, but I killed him.
So yeah, then you won that one. That'll bring you guys to round 6. So this was the top 4 technically.
Yes, top 4.
All right. So then you, Dan, played Matt Prignano. How did that one go?
Oh, I threw so hard. I think I was in my own head that whole game. So I think we rolled off. I won. I put him on Monster Island because that is the best map to try to challenge plants because there's no way I'm taking him indoors ever. He dropped all his plant markers. I tried to blow them up, but he like barricaded me in as best he could. Which what I should have done was I think picked up the blocking because I don't think he had mimic, or no, I think he was the one that actually had mimic. Yeah, so I didn't want to do that because of that fact. Because it would just end my action, and so I quaked with Thor to try to blow up as much as I could. I think I shot like 2 other ones, but I think there was one left, and I couldn't get far enough away. But I did shut Ivy off so she couldn't trick arrow me. I think she still attacked me. I don't. And he basically moved up, and then did he move Man Thing that turn? I can't remember if he just moved Man Thing all the way up or not. Definitely like moved Man Thing up at some point, and I just didn't do what my team does. Like I didn't call out my Ravens. I didn't. There was a lot of things that I just didn't do, and I just completely threw against him. Like I had a good. If I would have like ran that turn back, I would have done it completely differently because I could have dropped both Ravens out. Man Thing would have been down stats. I wouldn't have had to use an extra perplex on my attack, and then I could have just one shot him, and then Thor could have came in and like dropped because he basically moved his entire team up to shut me off, like basically shut my stat mods off, and then just have like good ways to attack me and prob me a bunch too because he had Kevin and Perdegaton. So unfortunately, that I lost there. That was just me not playing well against. Considering how many times I played Miles and Plants, I really should have had much more. I should have been much more capable, and I completely threw there. So that was my blunder.
Yeah, I was standing right behind you, and I kept asking Ricky, "Where are his Ravens? Why is he not bringing the Ravens out?"
Granted, I did play 2 teams that had both Beetlejuice and or another thing that shuts off your free actions. So I think I was just like, "Oh yeah, I don't have those," and so I think that might have been part of it. But yeah, I don't know why I didn't call him out because that's like immediately such a good thing to be able to do because you drop him in attack and a defense, and that's just such a game changer.
And then so then that was your last matchup, and then Bookwood, how did your round go?
So I played AJ Henderson. He's the other spot user. I got a little bit of an assist from Miles before the match. He told me about the rule of occupancy, which kind of escaped my memory, and so yeah. So I kind of stayed back. I think he sent Spot out, or he tried to attack me, but I prevented it. He missed or something. But he had the marker like mid map, so I put one of the Mysterio clones in the marker, so he had to attack him, and then his spot was pretty much doomed because I sent mine up and just grabbed his, and I think I grabbed his. I think he had a Swamp Thing too, and I grabbed both of them and just destroyed them.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, because he's like, "Oh, you can't grab you can't grab both of them, and Matt's like, yeah, you can. So brought him over, just Poison Town with the grave marker, and that was another quick one. I don't remember what else he had, but it was kind of similar to mine.
It was a ruler. It was like a ruler thing because it had Diana, it had Black Panther, and some other stuff. I remember taking a look at it and I was like, "What is?" I was trying to figure out how it worked because it just was
Dude.
like pieces that I couldn't figure out how they worked together.
Zenzi was on
Yeah,
it
I
too.
remember. Yeah, okay, yeah. He had the Zenzi, he gave it the spot, obviously, but I think he missed an attack. But I remember the Diana. I'm like, what is that doing there? Because
Well, yeah,
I
because
was
she
really
didn't have the hell
confused.
cycle. So that was I think she was just for buffing the attack and the
Yeah.
damage once
Yeah.
Spot brought him over because she's got Empower traded and she gives you +1 attack if you're within 4 of her.
Yeah, that's what he was trying to do. It's not a bad strategy, but she's more for bringing someone over across the map rather than providing that. I totally forgot about that Diana.
Yeah, he was hitting I think like 14 for 5 every time he attacked with Spot.
Yes. Yeah, I remember someone telling me he was a 14 for 5. I'm like, well, I need to get rid of him quick because I don't want to get hit, by that twice.
No, that's why. Yeah, that's why when I called you and we were going over, that's why I'm like, you have to put your goon in his marker because that's going to throw off everything.
Yeah, and I did exactly that, and you know what? You were right.
And that's right. So
And,
he also had
That's
Copycat.
number 2 spot player.
Oh, Copycat went down last. I mean, Copycat's good, but it's a Pog with 17D, and I mean, a couple of people had Copycat, and I wasn't really like afraid of Copycat, and they
Yeah,
went down
she's
pretty easily.
insane support, but yeah, she still will
Mhm.
die relatively easy.
It's within 3, so I'm just gonna clear everybody out. You bring Spot brings someone over, and I can just bring Copycat over, and that's the end of her.
Yeah, she usually goes pretty fast, but it's really like the copying of like the perplexes and the barriers that's crazy, or TK,
Yeah.
anything like that. So that brought you then to the final matchup against Matt. Do you want to talk about that one?
Yeah, Matt. He played plants, as you well know. He had Beta Ray Bill. He made a crucial mistake. He forgot that Swamp Thing had a Quake, so he put 3 plant markers right next to each other, essentially, with a spot in the middle. So I'm like, all right, I learned my lesson from your brother. So I went over there with Swamp Thing and just quaked all 3 of those plant markers, and then Sandman went and destroyed the 4th one. So that eliminated any like threat from across the map from Poison Ivy. So then I was getting ready. He like started to bunker up in the back, and then I'm like I couldn't get to him with Spot, so I broke a wall, and then on the bunker, and then I sent over what's his name, Sandman, to go destroy the barrel, and then I sent Spot over, and it was pretty much over after that. I KO'd Poison Ivy first, and then what else did he have? Then Bader. Oh, he had Kevin. I kept pinging Kevin just to get him off the map. And then Beta Ray Bill went down. He pulled off the say the nay or whatever it is, and then he took one unavoidable. But the end was there. He knew it. I knew it. I mean, I walked into that match like I'm gonna win. And I did. He brought out Gaia after I KO'd his man thing, and I KO'd
That's right.
Gaia as well. So I got double points.
And that
So,
that
yeah.
wrapped up the whole event. So congrats on that win. I'm gonna guess that you're gonna stick with that team for a while.
I made an alteration earlier today with me and Miles were going back and forth a little bit with it. I'm looking into adding Penguin,
Oh really?
taking off Swamp Thing. Yep, Penguin and
Yeah,
Zenzi.
Swamp Thing doesn't. I mean, realistically, when you look at how his team works, Swamp Thing not only is he taking up the prime slot, but like that's 75 points that can actually be changed to make the team better. Because with Sandman, you get pretty much Swamp Thing. You don't need those grave markers to do they can't reduce because Sandman does the same thing.
Right.
So
I guess I just liked Swamp Thing's mobility and like you get an extra prob. He's like a pretty stellar for 75 points. I mean,
he's still really good. I mean, but you have 75 points to work with, and you also get a prime. So, like, if he wants to throw a prime on the sideline, he can.
Yeah.
That penguin's great because the penguin has can make the goons. Yeah. Also the tricks of giving precision strike blades, knock back, all that fun stuff.
Yeah,
For
they
other
had
friendly
Ares.
characters.
So
Yeah, and there. So
Ares. So you put the marker over there in the middle. Like if they're grouped up, put them in the middle and just Ares bomb the hell out of them, and then just
yeah,
bring
'cause
them
the
all
marker
over.
says that they're considered adjacent to them for close attacks.
Mm-hmm.
So it works just like Giant Reach with spot with the marker.
Yeah, and if I hit all of them, I can pick and choose who I'm going to bring over to drop in the poison pits.
Mm-hmm.
And I had universal weapon on Mysterio just in case I wanted to pulse wave somebody or do some shenanigans, an extra TK, and then on my new sideline I would have Fortify Rivalry and then Prime Reverse Flash.
Did
So
you
a little
have
bit different.
Did you have to sacrifice much to play it as a 2v2 Highlander with Dan?
I didn't use trick arrows. Usually I use trick arrows with Ivy, but I didn't abandon plants. I played plants, so just tried something a little bit different with these Spider-Verse chases that I haven't gotten to use before, and they're pretty fun. I mean, sounds like everybody's using Sandman and Mysterio, and more people using Spot. So it's nice
Yeah,
to
there's really not much plants on your team. Like you have Man Thing.
I don't have
You and
any
I,
plants.
yeah, you don't have Man Thing. You have no plants. Yeah, Spot
Yeah.
is pretty much a new version of plants that they can't destroy. So yeah,
That's what we needed
Yeah, I
for
mean-
sure.
yeah. Hey, but no, that's like I said, that's why the rule of occupancy. Like they can set up, you can literally put a figure with rollouts into that marker, and like that's gonna completely throw them off. They're gonna have to now waste their free to move from 4 within Spot, who's in his starting area, and now he can't get full map. So now they're gonna have to waste an action if they want to get him full map with a TK. So there's ways around it to deal with it.
There is one thing I was disappointed in myself. I had treasure chests on the sideline. I never rolled for it. I totally forgot about it.
Same.
No, and it's a waste. It's just giving up 5 points. I've played that, and then like, yeah, it's
Yeah, but
it's not worth.
I KO the figures right in front of my force, so it would be beneficial.
Yeah, yeah. But I think there's more important sideline options, especially with the points you get.
Yeah, I feel
Well,
like you could do something else with the 5 points then too. Yeah.
Well, you don't
Well,
pay
it
for it
was-
when it's on your sideline,
was
and when it's
free on
Highlander, you have a couple extra slots.
Yeah, I'm thinking more normally. Sorry, than just the Highlander event.
Yeah, this is for Saturday. Normally, no, I don't have that, but like guys were dropping in front of me. I should have just rolled for the treasure chest and see what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
Oh yeah.
And what did you get out of your case for winning?
It was on the report. I got Chase Thor, I got Chase Frazier Crane, I got Arrow, I got Harpy, what else? Two Titanias, both Prime Destroyer and Prime Abomination. I got your Dumpster Fire. I got a couple of snake traps, a couple one shots. It was pretty good. A lot of stuff I didn't have. Saves me
Did you-
$300.
Did you get any of the goats?
I got one goat. It was the
Which
the
one?
B side.
Oh, Tooth Grinder.
Knew that was coming.
I couldn't. Oh, I also got Cinder. I'm looking at the list now. Cinder. Yeah. Arrow. Yep. I got about 100 Hawkeyes.
Oh, yeah, that's ridiculous.
I didn't get the blue absorbing that, which I was kind of like confused about.
You mean the water one? Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like the hardest one to get, I think.
I didn't get the chase one either, but like I got the first 5.
I pulled 2 chase
the
ones
rest
and
of
0
them, too.
water ones.
That makes 0 sense.
Dan, what did you get out of your case?
I got Chase Hulk. I got Chase Magneto. Cinder, 2 Harpies, Arrow, 2 Constrictors, 2 Destroyer Armors, 2 Rhinos, and a goat. I got Tooth Gnasher though. I also got the Leader Legacy card and the Green Scar Legacy card. And I got some of the one shots that were hard to get. Like I got 2 of Heimdall's Sight, so that was nice. And then I got a insurance policy, so I have all the one shots now.
Oh, nice. That was the only case that I think that didn't have a prime that I've seen, though. right? Did you?
Yeah, I was real sad.
You went through it and you
My
didn't get a
case
prime,
didn't
right?
have a prime.
I did not. I was real.
I didn't get
I
a
was
prime.
big sad.
Yeah.
And
I was big sad with no prime.
Miles, you opened a case
Yeah,
without
it
a
was-
prime too.
Yeah, I had no prime.
What was your chases?
The chases was Juggernaut and so Magneto. I think it was Juggernaut and Magneto,
No, it's
and
Juggernaut.
then
It's Juggernaut and Tony. It's Juggernaut and Tony Stark.
Oh,
I
yeah,
got
yeah,
the same
sure.
case.
yeah,
Oh,
Tony
that's right.
Stark and Juggernaut. Yeah.
There's definitely a lot of variations with these cases. It's not as easily tractable as it has been in the past, which is kind of nice, honestly.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, like it was a good case. So like, I turned the one Hulk into Freya, and I'm turning the Magneto into a Hulk, which then is turning into Harpy Prime. So I'm not unhappy with my case.
Yeah,
I really like Harpy Prime because of the green door.
Let me in so I can find out what's behind the green door.
that one seemed forced.
I was like, that's such a long clip. All right.
It was 100% forced. I had to get that back.
You're never
And-
playing that ever.
Yeah.
That's the commitment right there.
All right, and then in addition to the H for H event this Saturday, it's also going to be our Degeneration Clix Monthly Invitational Championship. The Saturday event that's streaming is going to be Scott Porter versus the World, but then that's going on. It's our Soldier game, so May was really hard to lock down and just get a good weekend for that. So only 5 of us are making this one. It's Pete, Looper, Christine, Ollie, and myself. And the Soldier special rules have something to do with basically random things are going to happen after each round, either like a bombing run or a care package drop. So we will be live on YouTube as well as the Scott Porter versus the World event in Alabama. All right, let's go to the listener questions.
Your ass better call somebody!
First, we have Charles Constant. Is Ryan still pushing the GOAT button? Well, Charles, let's check in with them. Oh, looks like the answer is yes. All right, then we got Mork Bird. Hero Clicks for Huntington's is a great initiative. If each of you could run a Clicks event in support of a cause, what would it be in support of? I would do something for child abuse. I'd like to support that one.
I don't know. It's tough. Like it would be hard for me to really like I'm gonna do this because like it's a really I haven't really put much thought to it, and so I don't really want to just say something just to answer this question because I think there needs to be a lot of thought and something to support. Exactly. So there's just so much you can do.
That is fair.
If this was me, it's probably something for dementia awareness. My mom's mom suffered really badly from dementia in her old age, and my mom like that was a lot of what she talked about because how her mom was like towards the end there, and like just that she like wouldn't recognize her, stuff like that, just like all these things. So like just the like recollection of like how that is when you've known someone your whole life and then they stop like recognizing who you are and treat you differently. Like at one point I think she tried to put a knife to her because she didn't know who she was. So I think something that for me would be something like close to home.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
I would actually do something to support lung cancer awareness and screening. Lung cancer is actually the second most common cancer for both males and females, and it's the leading cause of death in the U.S. for cancers right now is actually lung cancer. The problem with it, honestly, is that we are good at detecting other things, prostate and breast, through routine exams and screening, and we don't do a good enough job of screening in lung cancer. The top states in the United States hit about 6% of all available people for screening. And so if you've ever smoked in your life, this is something that I would encourage you to talk to your provider about, because you probably would benefit from at least a one-time low-dose CT screening for lung cancer. So that's what I would be supporting.
Yeah, I second that one. My mom's got lung cancer, stage 4 lung cancer, so definitely agree with you on that one. I think I would pick depression, like something with depression, like going through a dark time. Last year. um, you know, depression, mental awareness. You can't go like being a father of 2 young kids. Can't go wrong with child abuse, Redmond. But just going from experience, like mental awareness, depression. It's more outspoken now. People are recognizing it, but it's a real thing. It was a dark time for me, and I got through it. But like other people aren't as lucky, and they're stuck in the rut, and that's something I would probably choose.
Yeah, something that just means something
Great
to
answers.
you, for sure. Yeah, all good answers. Going to number 2, there's been a little bit of chatter of people not appreciating the generic terrain in Smash. I see various merits for new players, those who like terrain to match maps, having access to terrain during sealed other than 1x1, and of course a motorbike being eternal now. If WizKids keeps with the generic terrain, sticks around ruling, I don't think every terrain piece in boosters or not should have an effect terrain. How does the team feel about this? I think people are complaining about the generic terrain and boosters because the set overall is really great and there's not too much to complain about, so they had to find something to whine and bitch about. I personally,
Yeah, that's reaching.
What's that?
It's reaching.
Yeah.
They're reaching. The complaining is that there's zero issue with it.
Yeah. I personally love the addition of the like opening a booster and finding just something a little bit extra, especially if it's if they keep making figures like Freya that interact with the specific terrain and markers. So they made ones that look like her story terrain markers, and I think that's awesome. So I'd like that to continue to happen.
I mean, I could say like, what would you like them to be in the chase boosters? At least they were like I opened a case, and I got like 6 to 7 terrain markers in my case. Like, and I have 4 of the packaged ones. So
I need a $100 1x1 blocking terrain.
there you go.
Yeah, that has a crazy effect for sure.
No, just a 1x1
terrain?
blocking terrain. That's just unique to the case. It just looks cool. It's a hologram, like from the 90s, those ones that you just move and there's a picture in it. But it's blocking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, you know what we really need? Miles, back in the day, the 3D terrain. You remember the dumpster and the light post?
Oh yes, that's what I was going to bring up too. The light post, the lamp.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot wait to use that because I'm dusting off my old 3D lamp because that's going to be seen on there, and it's an official WizKids, so it's happening.
I mean, what's the complaint about? I was the first one to say the set was gonna suck, but I was wrong. Like this set's awesome. Like the terrain, who cares?
Yeah,
It's, like you said, it's added extras.
Yeah, they're throwing just a bunch of new stuff in there, and it plays really fun. The set is awesome. People just need something to complain about, and so they're like, "This terrain doesn't do things."
Who cares?
Even though a chunk of it does, it just doesn't do like the easy stuff like we're used to. Oh, the phone booth. It's not a phone booth. Oh my god.
And it doesn't take the slot of a character.
They get mad that it's too much generic. Yeah, they want more effect terrains. The effect terrains that we even have, like most of them are just a gimmick that's like they're not game breaking or anything. They're fun, like the dumpster fire and whatnot. But I mean, a motorbike. Yeah, I now have a motorcycle on every one of my teams. Like, yeah,
forever.
I like that. Yeah,
forever.
Well, the thing that people don't realize is some of the terrains do extra things. It's like it gives you Giant Reach 2 or Giant Reach 3. It does extra damage. It doesn't have to have like a wall of text to be effective. Like that Giant Reach 2 can make or break an attack.
Especially in sealed, I think it's kind of a neat thing to have.
Yeah, I'd like to see more of it.
Yeah, I hope it continues. Pete, where do you stand on it?
I don't find it to be anything worth. It's not worth complaining about. It's awesome. Like you're getting extra things in the boosters where you constantly ask for value, and they're throwing in extra fun things. And I mean, I personally need a dumpster fire.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
it's hilarious to me.
So throwing random bystanders and pog equipments in these boosters. Just saying.
That would be a good fix.
All right, number 3, are there any figures or pieces of equipment that have particularly hard to get a hold of for you guys? I imagine the US accessibility is that much higher, but are there any ones that got away or just haven't hit despite opening several cases? For me, it's Lady Octopus and those octopus arms. It's really been hard to finish the CUR for Smash and Destroy. The fire and water absorbing mans are really hard to find, and the same with the Sea Taskmaster. Dan helped me out with the absorbing mans and the Sea Taskmaster, but I think I opened 7 bricks, and we played a bunch of sealed, Ollie and I, and opened a bunch of just like loose boosters, and it was really hard to just nail all those down. So that's, I think, my only complaint about Smash and Destroy is I have like 37 Hawkeyes, but Absorbing Man, who like is this really cool, well done mechanic, is just super hard to collect all his versions. I have more Hawkeyes than all the versions of Absorbing Man put together.
That's crazy, especially because they're both commons.
Yeah.
Oh, I have Hawkeyes, I have Thories, I have Ant-Mans. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, the only thing is, I guess if you're talking about from boosters, there hasn't really been anything. The pogs from like chase boosters, just because of my accessibility to get chase boosters, are not there. So there are plenty that get away. I haven't really had any issues. I was able to pull, I think, all of them, but I think it was Gamma Absorbing Man and Chase Absorbing Man, and there was one more Absorbing Man from like that I was missing from my case, but I pulled 4 of them in a case.
That's pretty good. Did you only open just one case, no sealed games or anything?
Yeah, no sealed, just one case is all I got. Okay. And I ended up with a few extra. I bought a few of the cur that I was missing, and so yeah, I got a case and just spent a little bit, and now I think I'm just missing 2 super rares, the 3 primes, and then I think 3 chases. I went cheap and was able to get majority of everything, hopefully.
I mean, I'm a more finite collector, so not this set, thankfully. Older stuff, the Mighty Thor, Chase Thor, the one that comes with Mjolnir. Purely because of the equipment, it just makes him really expensive to get a hold of. So,
would you say that we've kind of pushed your degenerate spending a little bit?
Yeah, it's called Hobbying with Redmond. You should see the things that I picked up lately. They'll be coming in the mail soon enough because of it. So,
Pete, is there anything that you have not been able to find or was hard for you to get?
From this set, the water absorbing man, I basically got everyone but the chase. That water one, though, I did have to seek out, and the Sea Taskmaster I did not get either. But I got the other 2. My all-time hardest ever to get piece was definitely Ultra Chase Thanos. I went through like 5 cases looking for Ultra Chase Thanos. At one point, I was just buying cases of ABPI hoping to pull him, and I never ended up getting him, so I had to seek him out on the aftermarket. But still one of my all-time favorite pieces. I still play it not every chance I get, but quite often. So that was kind of my holy grail.
Now, Bookwood, is there anything that you've not been able to find, or if you think of it, it's instantly on its way?
Well, back in the day for Empire, I tried to get Venom Magneto as like everybody else did, and I kept getting repeat bricks and cases, and I got kind of pissed off. And then I bought 1 pack and I pulled them. I'm like, are you kidding me? For this set, Water Absorbing Man, Chase Absorbing Man, I have 2 Taskmaster C's. So whoever wants one can have it. Prime Harpy, and I have Freja on here, but I pulled her, but I'm trading it to Dan, so I kind of good on this set. I mean, I traded and bought the chases that I wanted, and then I won the case, and I'm pretty set for this set.
Yeah, I heard other people talk about the fire and water absorbing mans too, so I don't know if they were just produced less or if it's a regional thing where those did not make it our way, but I definitely am interested to see how many other people are not finding those. But they're commons that were going for, I think, like at least $5. They might even be higher now.
Yeah, some of those, I think 1 or 2 of those Orb Man were close to $10.
The common ones? I bet you it's the water one.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, that's good though, right? Like, some commons should be worth like something instead of it being like, hey, it's worth a couple pennies.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I think it's yeah, I like it.
It's not bad, but the issue is I don't need, like I said, I don't need 37 Hawkeyes. and then I need to seek out the Absorbing Man. There should definitely have been a more balanced amount of these.
Oh, that I totally agree with. I just meant as far as like it's nice to see value in the common slot is was all I was trying to push.
Yeah.
Yeah, on eBay he's like $15. On cool stuff he's $8.99 right now.
The water
Only 4
one?
in stock. Yeah, the water one.
Yeah, he must just be more rare.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I think all of us have had a hard time finding him then, except for I guess Dan, you pulled him.
I pulled one.
And then Miles, you said you did pull him or you did not?
No, he's one of the ones I'm missing. Him in the chase.
Yeah. So we pulled one between all of the cases that we opened. That's for a common, that's pretty rare. All right,
we have each common in a boosted brick, so.
So So how many is that then? So I opened 7 bricks, and not even counting the other extra boosters. You opened a case, Pete.
I opened a case. I actually need a Hawkeye. I'm just kidding. I got 20 of them.
So that's 9 bricks, and then Bookwood, you've opened a full case.
Yeah, case and I think a couple packs, so I didn't get any blue ones.
All right, so that's 11 bricks, and then you opened a case, Miles, so that's 13, and then 15. So 15 bricks and 1 common Absorbing Man water.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Insane.
I bet we have 100 Hawkeyes, though. What's that?
Oh, we should all bring our... We should just all, for a Monday, just all bring our Hawkeyes and just let the best Hawkeye player win.
I'm tired of seeing that piece.
Well, I already know who that is because that's Harris. So. Yeah.
All right, going to question number 4, wrestling time. Who is a face you would love to see make a heel turn, and who is a heel you would love to see make a face turn? Let's see. I think so. Keep in mind, got into it in the 2000s, so I don't go as back as Miles or Pete. I think my all-time favorite heel is honestly Chris Jericho from the 2000s, but like Triple H and Kurt Angle are really high up there too, and even The Miz had his high points.
Yeah, the first part though, the face that I'd like to see make a heel turn, I'd love to see the Outrunners make a heel turn. That would just be amazing. And then a heel who I'd like to see turn face. I'm not really sure because everyone's a tweener nowadays. There's no real face or true heel outside of a few. So that one's even harder, really. All-time favorite heel and all-time favorite face is, yeah. That's a tough one. But if you guys wanted to answer the face who you'd like to make a heel turn.
Yeah, I totally read the wrong ones. So my my face to heel is actually the harder one, and I think I honestly want to see Cody Rhodes at this point turn just to make him a little bit more interesting. And then heel to face is I'm kind of tired of Finn Balor being a heel, so I think I'd like him to kind of go back to being a face.
I didn't totally forget about Finn. I didn't even realize he was even a heel.
Yeah, he's leading Judgment Day, and I just am not a fan.
Yeah.
What about Dominic Mysterio? He's kind of his prime.
I almost said him, but honestly, he's doing so good.
Yeah, they literally organically turned him face at WrestleMania. The reaction to him as champion, post show was insane.
Yeah.
He's now a face.
He did good there.
I mean, Dominic has earned that. Like, he kind of organically earned the face turn. That's hard to say because the thing is like most of these guys have done both. My favorite heel of all time, though, is good old Randall K. Like, there's nothing better than a Randy Orton heel just running around destroying people with the RKO. Favorite face of all time? It'd have to be Hogan. That's my favorite face of all time. But who would I want to see turn face? Yeah, Dominic's probably it right now. He'll have a great run. I mean, he's just absolutely connects with the crowd.
Oh man,
I'd love it. I'd be such a fan of it.
Would be so good.
No.
Yeah, it would be gold.
Dan, do you have anything for this one?
Dude.
Was Mysterio ever a heel, or was he? I
Yes,
don't know.
he was a heel in the late '90s when he took off his mask.
Yeah,
as part of the propaganda.
I remember they demasked him, but I didn't know if he was like, so he was a heel at that time and then he turned face. Okay. I was gonna say
Yeah, that
I
was
only knew him I think when he was a face, so I was thinking like, oh, it'd be interesting to see him as a heel, but I guess he already did that. I don't
But no, it'd
know.
be different though with the mask. So yeah, no, I'd actually like to see him as a heel with the mask for sure. Because yeah, it's not good. If you
Then
look at
that's what I'll have as my like face to heel. I don't know enough of the heels, or I have enough exposure to them right now to be like, hey, this is who I like to see turn face. So that's where I come up short.
Yeah.
What do you got, Bookwood?
All-time favorite face. I started in '99, right before WrestleMania 15. It's Austin. Like, he's the best face ever. Triple H is probably my favorite heel, just because I hated him so much when he was feuding with Austin and The Rock, and he's Mount Rushmore of heels. The face I'd like to see turn heel is Cody, because I think the seeds are planted already for everybody cheering John Cena as a heel at WrestleMania. Um, in terms of heels turning face, I like Dominic and eventually Gunther, but I don't know. He's just kind of like one of those lifelong heel guys.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's like he can play both and it'd be fine. He just has that perfect character that where he's really neither and he can be what you want. He's like the new Big Show.
Oh, no, Big Show sucked, man. He was so bad. Like, dude, I was watching like old videos of Big Show. I'm like, what a waste. Like, absolute waste.
I see that that clip where he steps through the table keeps popping up lately.
Yes.
That's so dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a buffoon at its finest. And then when The Rock was ripping on for that haircut.
Yeah, so that my favorite face was The Rock from 2000s. That was probably what even got me into wrestling in the first place, when he was on a roll and feuding with Triple H.
Yeah, oh yeah, dude. Like, Backlash 2000, one of the greatest pay-per-views ever. With that main event was just pure like awesomeness.
Yeah, I was going over to a buddy's house to watch the pay-per-views. They were all really good that year, most of them at least.
Well, yeah, since I can't pick Hulk Hogan or Hollywood Hogan, my favorite heel. So there's two. There's one where it's like, as an adult, I really love from WrestleMania 20 to WrestleMania 21. I think Bradshaw becoming JBL was just perfect and something they needed. But if I go back to like as a kid, like and something that just makes me laugh, it's got to be Mabel. When after he became King of the Ring and became heel, and he took Undertaker's urn and melted it into an LL Cool J gold necklace. So it's gold. All-time favorite face is that. Yeah, I can't pick Hogan once again, so it's really tough because that's who my guy was. I guess the second place would have to probably be Jim Duggan, just because he's always called people tough guys, and he'd wallop people with 2x4s. And my favorite part was no matter who he was wrestling, even if he was wrestling another American, he would chant USA, and then he would even do it when he's overseas or in another country. I forgot what pay-per-view I was watching, but it was they were in Canada, and he was trying to get the crowd to chant USA, and it was hilarious.
Dude, what about Kurt? When he was a heel, he was just damn funny with his three eyes and all that shit.
Oh, he was on my list. He was awesome.
As a heel, he was so entertaining,
But he played it so well.
Yeah, he was so new.
He did. Yeah, he was perfect. No, yeah, but he does not top JBL, and he does not top Mabel. I mean, you cannot top getting Undertaker's urn, melting it down, and making it into an LL Cool J necklace. Like, that's peak.
That was before my time for wrestling.
Yeah.
That was like 90. It was right before you actually watched. I want to say it was like 95.
I completely forgot about that. That's awesome.
I knew you'd appreciate it.
Did everyone get that answer, all those?
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just a closing note, great to see a strong DcX showing at HEL. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, those guys always come up to our events and do really well, so it's cool to go down there and kind of support them and us do the same. So those guys are always a lot of fun to hang out with and always good seeing them.
Did we talk about the fellowship prize that they gave out?
Oh no, part of that whole event was after 3 rounds you voted for a fellowship person, and everyone, that was kind of like the buy-in. It was only a $5 buy-in, and then you just had to bring something that you would also like want to get. And so after voting was done, somebody just got all of that, and I think there was 20 people that played. So it was a huge. I think they posted pictures of it. It was a huge haul though. It was really cool.
Yeah, it wasn't like just crap either. It was a bunch of good stuff in there. I was like, man, I'll trade you this case for this pile. Like that's how good it was.
Yeah, it was a good pile. Then we got Derek Benedict. Are you building all-out meta going for the event win, or building in a way that will keep you in contention for the fellowship prize? Is it possible to do both? I always build somewhere in the middle because I need to play something that's fun, that I actually want to play, and just going to keep me interested the entire event. Unfortunately, I'm not able to make H4H this year. I have a bunch of stuff going on this month and next, and just couldn't take the time away from everything. But I will be playing Silver and Modern at Origins. I just don't think it's possible though to build a team that is going to beat the field and have a shot at fellowship, just because there's just some really mean stuff out there, and you have to be able to counter it. And if you go too much for like a fun fellowship, I just don't think it's possible.
It's I don't really ever build all out meta. Like I said, I build competitive, and I try to make my teams enjoyable to play against, even if some people think it's broken. So I try to have a good experience for me and my opponent. So yeah, meta's just never been me. If someone else is playing it, 99% of the time, like, I'm not going to be playing it. Obviously there's a few corner cases like with Spot and, plants and everything, because, that's like, I was building with that before he even came out, once they were shown. So, yeah, but I think going for fellowship prize is always fun, but it's just going to have fun and play. And I think it's possible to do both. I think regardless of, it being Bookwood, like if you look at his team, like his team wasn't a meta at all. It was building to where he was in contention for winning, and I think potentially a fellowship, because he's playing figures that no one really, thought was top tier. Like, there's still people out there that think Sandman's not worth his points and just not good, even though we've just saw several of them do great. So I think it is possible to do both.
Unless you're playing a Sinister Syndicate team, I don't think you're getting fellowship if Spot's on your team.
Well, whatever. Well, I'm just saying you're in contention for fellowship. You're still playing for fun. You're not going all out meta.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same thing with Madam Web and Arachnite. You ain't getting fellowship with those pieces.
That's fine. They're fun to play. And they're also not being played by half the field. Not that Spot was yet, but he will be.
Well, he can be played by half the field, but more than half of that half the field are going to play it wrong. So,
I know one guy that did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do I. I played him. I did play him wrong. I did have a. I did realize you can power action flurry, so I do admit I messed that up.
Yeah.
I thought it was just the flurry is free.
Yes, because that's what he needed, was to also be able to attack 2 more times.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah. From the guy that played Prime Spidey that could attack, 4 times in a turn?
How did this turn into an attack on me?
No, I'm just saying it's comparable, is all I'm saying.
Weren't you the Sky Tyrant man too?
Yeah,
No.
Come on. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna take this bogus about me playing broken stuff when more than half the field played Sky Tyrant.
And wasn't that Sky Tyrant with when you could flurry and quake?
Yes.
So Sky Tyrant flies across and has to actually hit. Spot just goes
So
right
does
back
Spot.
to... No, he goes right back to his little house, and he hits from his house.
Well, he
Not
still
the
has to
official
get
hit.
to you to hit, though.
And then he goes right back to his little house.
Yeah, but then he brings you to his house. You know?
That is worse.
He's got a nice pie.
It's not a very.
And then you eat
not a very
17
friendly
poisons.
house.
You know, I did the same thing with Black Manta and Liar Ring. It's the exact same thing. I brought you to my house. It's fine.
I love the 10 range mind control with Manta just pulling you over. That's hilarious.
Same thing, yeah. It's a reverse alpha.
It's not a
I
reverse
see nothing
alpha.
wrong with it.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is. A reverse alpha is where you're able to stay in your starting and bring them to you.
Mm-hmm. Dan, what's
That's
your
a good-
take
yeah.
on Fellowship and meta?
I mean, I feel like I fall into more fringe play, so I try to shoot for somewhere in the middle too. But I mean, hopefully I'm in contention for Fellowship, but I think Fellowship is more than just your team. I think it's also your attitude and like how you present, like how you carry yourself. So that's I think also another big part of it. So like,
But when you're building the team, do you feel like you can build both for Fellowship and to build a meta team that's going to beat the field and win the event?
yeah, I think you can still play something competitive that's like good. Yeah.
You guys are way too optimistic. All right, Pete, let's hear you lie also.
Hey, you've beat it into my skull that I have to be optimistic. So here we are.
Don't lie to yourself though. You can
I'm
have
not lying to
fun. You can
myself.
have fun and you can have a chance, but you can just not play like the most absolute fun team that would win a Fellowship prize
So it had to be the most
and win the
fun.
event. That's
I
what we're
just say it
talking
can
about
be-
here.
It can be in contention for Fellowship as long as I'm in contention and I can still compete. I'm cool.
Okay.
Fellowship is more than just about the team that you're playing. Fellowship is all about how you're interacting with your opponent. If you're having fun playing.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
I
there's-
do this really cool thing where I read the question and then I answer the question that is asked. So let's go over this again. Are you building all-out meta going for the event win or building in a way that will keep you in contention for the Fellowship prize? We're talking specifically building a team, not being an asshole or being a nice person.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't go all out meta.
That's not. I
don't
don't.
either.
I don't care what you guys do. The question is asking: can you build for Fellowship, where you would win because you played a fun theme team, and also beat every other person that built a sweaty, crazy meta team?
I think there's enough good stuff in the roster.
Yeah,
now.
I think right now, I think that it is possible at this moment. I think it really is. I think it's that open, honestly.
I hate you guys so much, Pete.
No, I'm being honest. I think it is possible.
Okay. Pete,
Likely, no, but it is possible. Right now, I think that you. But it's also contradicting because if you go all out meta, then you're really not going to do Fellowship. And so is it possible to do both, where you're going to be building to go for the event win and building a way to keep you in contention for Fellowship prize?
Right.
I think it's possible to do both.
No. Pete, what's your take?
I would build more towards meta than try to Fellowship prize personally. I think that I agree that Fellowship isn't just your team; it also is your attitude. In a limited format, I think you could potentially try to accomplish both, but in a straight like normal modern meta tournament, I think it would be really, really difficult.
Maybe we just have different opinions on a team that would win Fellowship. Bookwood, are you going to save me on this or no?
I will save you. I think it is possible to build a team geared towards Fellowship and still be competitive. I think it's a team that not a lot of people. Okay, so like if I see a guy playing trying Black Lanterns after all the nerfs that they've received, I'd probably like they're still trying to be competitive. I'd probably vote for him for Fellowship because I saw Logan Perignano play Black Lanterns at what was it, the Icy, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the
And
IC.
he did. I mean, he did pretty well. I mean, like after they've gotten shit on with the Bloodstone and Beetlejuice, or a full Sinister Syndicate team that's gotten support like with what they gotten from Spider-Verse, it is possible to build a Fellowship team or a team built to aim to get the Fellowship prize. But also with that, it's hard to understand like how Fellowship is voted on. Everybody's got their different opinions on a Fellowship. I've had plenty of stores where a fellowship was just given to somebody because they came back after a couple of years. Like, well, that's not really what it's for, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, you can build a team to be somewhat competitive with the power levels that have been come out in recent sets. I think it's fully capable. I mean, dude, look, there's the Phoenix Wolverine who was running wild. I mean, I wasn't ready for it. He almost beat me, so that was just one piece, and that's on nobody's radar. I mean, it's just stuff that you're not expecting and catch people by surprise, and that's usually the stuff that Fellowship is made for. You
Right.
remember that
And
multiple man team?
yeah.
Yeah, that's a Fellowship team where this guy brings like a bag full of multiple men and Hydra agents or whatever it was.
Oh yeah,
And you know that it can compete.
They had
That's what I mean. It
the
showed
Pinata team.
that it
Yeah,
can
but
compete.
yeah, it still actually played out pretty well though too.
Yeah, it's
That's
stuff
the
like
entire
that
point.
where people like they make this new team and nobody's ready for it, and it's like, oh, I never thought of that. That's a good idea. Like those teams are still out there. It's just people haven't discovered them or they're too scared to try new things because they don't want to get crushed. But it's definitely possible because then that new team that people play becomes the new meta and everybody copies it. Kind of like Plants. The first time the dude played Plants, all of a sudden it was all over the place. Nobody thought of it. So it's like it just got to catch fire, and then all of a sudden, like that Fellowship team becomes the meta team. People, they copy.
Yeah, 'cause
Some
didn't
copy
that
more than others.
multi-man team make top 8 as well?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, it did well.
So I think that's exactly it. Is that he was going for the event win, but he was also building for Fellowship as a joke, and he was just dominating people because they weren't expecting what that team could do.
So keep in mind this is silver. Maybe it's a little bit
I think it's
better
silver,
with some of the
absolutely.
changes and the Highlander and all that stuff. You guys have not played in huge silver events, maybe either. Maybe that's part of it.
I have too. I've been to Rock Cup. I played the Star Mjolnir. I'm putting work.
What?
So I'm saying that's fun. That's a Fellowship level team. Star Mjolnir is a Fellowship level team.
Okay, and what did you end up running? What was your record?
I went into cut at 4-1.
And then?
Well, and then I lost to the broken Tri-Sentinel team in top 32.
Right. So
Which
that's
Okay,
my
yeah.
point is that
Yeah.
maybe we're in a better
That's the
place
only
where there's
team-
less types of teams like that.
For sure, but yeah, that's a very niche like thing because like that was a team that was just that dominated. Like it didn't lose. Like if you look at every other team, like the Star Mjolnir team beat every other team but that team. Like if that's the second best team was Star Mjolnir, like I'll take that. You know what I mean? Like the only team that could beat me was that just busted Blackheart. Like that's fine.
That's the point he's trying to make. Is like you brought a team that was able to be competitive, but also could also
You can get you for Fellowship, yeah, because no one
Yes.
thought they go, oh my god, I got full map reach with Starro hitting 5 times, 14 for 7. You know.
Right. I'm not saying that you will go 0-5 or whatever it is because you played this, but I just don't see it winning an event because you're going to run into that crazy Tri-Sentinel team that just stomps everything. Now, is Silver in a better place right now? Absolutely. So maybe the changes to Highlander and things like that will make it more healthy where they're going to have a better chance, and that is very much possible. But the overall point that I'm trying to make is that when I think of a fun team, we're talking about like a named theme team. And I think that you have to make too many sacrifices for fun to stay on theme on almost everything, that you can't beat a team that's doing as much maximizing
with that
potential.
criteria for sure. Yeah, with that criteria for sure. Yeah, that's you're making way too many sacrifices to go in there. If you're going strictly for that criteria for sure. Yeah, you're not going to be able to.
So maybe
I
our
love building
definitions. You love building
But-
theme.
yeah, theme. But the what the biggest problem is for modern, if it's silver, obviously that's fixed now because Juice is gone. But like I was looking at building Sinister Syndicate team, but like if there's a Juice, you're screwed because there's a lot of free actions and you can't do anything, so you're forced to play Chair Panther and break theme. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and
people are
that's
really limited.
so that's a perfect point that I've been making too, where I would love to play a Sinister Syndicate team, and use, instead of even like Predegaton, use what's his face? Norman, yeah. But it's just the team loses because of Beetlejuice. So it closes the available options. And so because of that, I'm gonna have to play Chair Panther, and now I'm off theme, so now I'm gonna maximize some more options.
But you don't have to in silver because he is banned.
Right.
Yeah, but we're talking about silver. I said silver. It's fixed, but modern is the problem.
I assume.
He stated it was for silver. So
No, we moved. He was making a point on modern, and so we just shifted to modern for a second.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
We were just talking about building.
Yeah,
no, we were talking about theme specifically theme.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. If you're building for modern, no, you don't get fellowship. You can't build for fellowship and win. You can't.
I mean,
that's much tougher doing modern than that.
It's not impossible, but it's possible because if you bring something nobody's expecting, I think it's possible. But like Beetlejuice is the biggest problem, and apparently Wakanda Hulkbuster now, but it's a different story.
He's nowhere near as threatening, honestly, as Beetlejuice. So.
It's still a thing.
No, I agree.
All right, let's go to Ben Groenheid's question. What percentage of 400 silver constructed teams do you think will feature the spot? I'm going to go and say 50.
I'm going to go 33%. I think he's had a lot of success in modern. I think he's going to be a staple in modern for his time. And I think he's capable, because of his keywords in silver, to be built around, very healthy. But I don't think he's going to... 50 seems high. I just think 50 seems high, just given what's available in silver. That's my only criticism.
You have big maps in silver too, so that makes it harder to get to get that kind of reach. And if you sell out that hard to get him over there, you're not giving him the kind of backup he needs, or this kind of support to, let's say, like hit something and then switch back with his marker. So I just don't. I don't know if he'll have the same amount of success in silver like as he would in modern. So
keep in mind that Smash and Destroy is not legal, and his keywords, because look at all the people that are going to be playing Scott Porter, so you're trying to stay on theme. He has Ruler and Scientist, and there's still Sinister Syndicate there too that is an option, and he's also the hot piece that everyone's talking about.
Yeah, I just, like, given what he can do, I just don't, even if you pair him up with the old one, I just don't think he has, like, the level of reach that you want in order to get, because I don't think the old one has Ruler either. So, I think that's my thought, is just, he's really good in modern. I don't know if he has that same punch in silver.
Does that work with the old spot from Spider-Man?
Yeah, because of the way it's worded. It's ridiculous.
It says the Spot. His name's just Spot.
No, it says where is it? So yeah, it's considered an article, so it doesn't matter. It's like if Mr. is spelt differently, Spot or the Spot is the same.
Okay, because I was like, I know like one word makes the world of difference in HeroClix.
It does in most cases, but yeah, the and like Mr. stuff like that. I don't know. Is there any other examples that you guys can think of? Those are the best ones.
No, we know for sure it works in silver together.
Yeah, that would do now.
All right, I'm going to write this down because we're going to check it out when it's done on next week's podcast. So, Dan, what's your percentage guess?
35 to 40. That's being generous.
So I'm going to put you down at 37.5.
Perfect. I like splitting the difference.
I didn't know we were doing the prices right.
Pete, you said 33?
I did.
All right.
Maybe I wanted to go $1 now. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to round you down.
33.
Oh!
I'm going to say 30%. I think people are going to try it, but I think people are going to try other things because of everything that got unlocked, like Carnage Surfer, Necron. I think people are going to try new teams now that these pieces are able to be played with porters, and like monsters can thrive again. But I think people are going to try Spot.
So 30%?
Yeah.
Not to be more than that.
Miles, what's your guess?
We're gonna see if there's 100 people, 60 of them gonna play them.
So you're going 60%.
Yeah. No, I think that's gonna be closer to 50%. Honestly, when you look at the field of the silver events, especially on the East Coast, and that's where Isaac and at AB and Lou play, they're already using spot. And players are going to be keeping an eye on exactly what's being played, especially by Isaac. That's just par for the course. So I think we're going to be surprised by probably not the amount of spot, but I think that's going to be a good thing too. There are answers for spot in silver, but yeah, which we'll go over. But yeah, I'm going to say around 50%.
50. So that's what I said. 50. Also, Dan went with 37.5 because I'm not giving them a 5% spread. Bookwood went with 30, and Pete went with 33. So you're gonna match me at 50.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say 50. I'll drop it to 45. Let's go 45.
45. Okay.
Yeah.
And we're gonna definitely come back to this 51. Next week. It's not The Price is Right.
All right, it is though.
It's not. All right, go
ahead. Because who wins with 48? I do, because I didn't go over.
Well, if you get the exact number, you get an extra prize. You get to stick your hand in Bob Burger's pocket.
Whew. Well, that's probably rotted by now, but yeah.
You do some digging on that one.
All right, gonna move to the second question. Is BTU 055 Cyborg a viable spot counter? Are there any others? Most of what I have seen is spot just moves up and then he switches with the spot marker. So I don't think Cyborg does too much because it's when somebody is
would be
placed or generated.
It does work. Yeah, within his range. So placed, because you place him where his marker is before he moves. So yes, you bump up Cyborg's range to like a 9. Yeah, he'll still spot.
Right, but people are still going to be outside of that range. So if you can.
Well, how are you going to do that though? In order to do that, so if you look at spot speed, they're going to have to make sure spot is 10 squares away from there, and hopefully be able to have to move all the way over. That's
if you're
that's
playing
what I'm saying.
spot, you're playing TKs. You're thinking of that kind of stuff, and you're planning for big maps.
Yeah.
I don't think.
No, for sure. Yeah.
So let's look at this. We're talking someone that's building an anti-spot team with the super rare Cyborg, or somebody that's building an optimal spot team. Which one do you think is going to have the better chance?
I will always say an optimal spot team, and the reason why is that you don't build your team to try and counter a specific piece. And this is why pieces like Butterfly, it really sucks, got the bench, because Cyborg is a perfect example of a Butterfly swap that can help you against certain builds. You don't want to just build anti-spot. Like I get
that, but they kind of had to do that with Darkseid. Like if he's not fixed, like it's either they both stay on.
I understand that, but Silver is so big that I think that Butterfly is actually healthy for the format of Silver, because Silver is so big you can't account for anything. And if you want to compete, then you're going to be having all these sideline options, and having these sideline options means that you're going to have less space for gods, less space for one shots, and so it's something, it's the pros and cons. So if you want to be able to answer a lot of things, then I think Butterfly is perfect for that, and Cyborg is a perfect example of like being to use that. Trying to build an anti-spot team is just it's impossible, because there's so many different spot teams that can be played. Ruler, Scientist, Sinister Syndicate, and Silver all of a sudden becomes really good without juice. So yeah, you can't really.
Yeah, I totally agree with you with the Butterfly thing. It is a way better thing to keep in the game because of its potential for having options and countering different things.
Yeah, Silver's just so huge. That's the entire, you can't answer everything. And so Butterfly, you're losing sideline options, but you're also gaining the advantage of being able to switch based off of matchups. So I really think that Butterfly is healthy.
But then if everybody's doing that, then he's just everywhere. It's like, well, I got to make sure I have this 60 points to cover whatever I feel like is the most burdensome options in the field. So then he's like, he's in automatic 60 points on every team then.
I don't think so. Unless a dark side comes into play. I think that he's just a Swiss Army knife that helps you answer some teams. There's not answers for everything.
No, I know.
So Silver's bigger and bigger and bigger.
What we both sounded was like, well, he should just be included because he's a Swiss Army knife that can cover.
No, I'm just saying if you're going to do the cyborg thing, that cyborg's good for spot, but okay, you're not playing spot. So like, what are you doing here? And that's what I'm saying. Like, this is why like cyborg as a butterfly swap is what you would want to do rather than build with cyborg. And then the other figure sadly got banned because of the broken interactions. So, which is unfortunate, but Eunice.
That
I have to delve deeper.
That was terrible.
It did. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's just the amount of abuse that could be created with that figure was just bad. Got to make sure, I guess, that he can't be adjacent to you. That's like the best part, the easiest answer. And so what sucks is that just encourages barrier and everything. But yeah.
Well, then so since the traffic barrel and the stop signs are banned, thanks, Aaron Morgan. The next best option is Colossal Orange Proteus to kind of shut down the improved movement from the phasing. And then if he tries to break away or he gets the motorcycle with the improved movement characters.
Yeah.
But then also like what we've talked about, just trying to have different. Oh, and then the two free barriers that he can generate. So I think Orange Proteus is honestly probably the best counter to it, because then you can also
that motorcycle does nothing. Because you don't need to break away if you're placing with your marker.
Yeah,
you place before you move.
Yeah, it's the same with Camo.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, but it's just it's free move one.
Yeah.
So you could have it on sidestep too.
Yeah.
What do you think about other counters, other potential counters?
There's Prime Vision at 50. You can just run him at 50 as your. He's still really decent even at 50, and he's just easy piece. Yes, he's your prime, but you can just stick him in your force and try to protect him a little bit, and then anybody that's adjacent to him has to they just don't get their improved movement. It's not as good as Proteus, but he also does other things. Like, I mean, he just phase over and flurry. So
how many points is he?
50.
Would you say that he's a good butterfly swap?
No.
You're just on this anti. He's saying no just to say no. Yeah, he's a good butterfly swap. If you
he's your prime, and like I usually want to build with my prime on my force, not on my sideline.
Sure, or shutting down what's going to be on 50% of builds. That's a good option.
Yeah. No, it's in a spot right now that I don't think that where Silver is. Like I think Spot is very he's too efficient. And he's gonna. I don't see him not winning Rock Cup. Honestly, like there's so much that he can do.
And one of the biggest things too is that he's gonna be, if nothing is done about him, and he just is allowed to finish the like up in 2 worlds, and nothing has changed about him, then he falls off immediately when the bikes rotate. But that's not the case in Silver, because now the bike is in Silver, and he gets that, and now he just gets that forever, and he's one of the best pieces in that format forever.
Yeah. That's why I don't think that they need to fix him, because it's just a temporary issue with the bikes. It's just we always deal with that. You know, there's always pieces like that.
And the traffic barrel shuts him down in modern.
Yeah, and if you really want to, I mean, the Super Magneto from Deadpool Weapon X, you know,
unequip sort of equipment.
Anything
that way, it's gonna save you, because you're gonna take that, and then you're gonna be able to. They're gonna have to power action equip it if they want to, instead of going and hitting you in alpha. So if you're able to build an alpha, which I think you can with 300 more points, I think Magneto at 100 points in Silver is a lot more viable than it is in Modern, because now you pretty much get a Modern team with him because of 300 points, and so you're able to build your own.
Prime Elsa can do the same thing. Then she hits him, he does not have his equipment anymore, and she can just walk over there and do it for free.
You don't have to hit him. You just power action.
No, I understand that, but this way you're attacking and you're also taking away equipment. So
Yeah.
Which, yeah, that's a great option. You have the trick arrows too, which is
Exactly.
another answer. There's answers for him. I don't see anything changing though in modern.
I guess
What
my
about
question is
Legend-
that he, like, for as alpha heavy as modern is, like, he's not super durable. So, and he has reflexes and senses on top dial. So if you just shoot him, I mean, he goes down relatively quickly. So I'm trying to I understand how good he is. I understand that he's very potent. I'm just trying to
So
understand.
when you team him up with Mysterio, he now has stealth. So now you need IT targeting, hindering.
The thing is that you just can shoot him out and then you bring him back to your house and you just kind of sit there and attack from your starting line over and over again. He can move out and then outwit, and then he comes back and then he does all of this stuff that he can do.
I guess that, but there's that same thing that Book would talk about the rule of like the occupancy, where you occupy his marker and then he can't swap.
I don't think you realize how important and like how good that is. Like Bookwood said, like that's the reason why he was able to take out that spot. Like that's so disruptive of a spot player that if their entire idea is that they're just going to hit you and bring you back to their house, then that's on them. It's going to be the skilled players that are going to be able to work around that, which means that they're not going to always be bringing you at their house. So occupying that marker completely can throw them off.
What about Legacy Nick Fury or Legacy Collector? If they
Are you
hit
talking about
stop,
Balls of Fury?
Yeah.
I mean, he's expensive, but he shuts off a lot of stuff, and he has a pretty good couple tricks.
Yeah.
Look at him and look at Collector, which nobody plays with. I don't know why. You know, they unequip and equipped equipment, or the damage is unavoidable. 3 damage unavoidable. Puts spot at his terrible clicks and kind of shuts him down.
Yeah, he's like stealth steal energy, right? I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you're gonna have to let them take you that equipment. So yeah.
Oh, and what's the bike's rotate? You still have red symbiote. Like it actually is probably better than the bike, to be honest with you.
But you have that's an entire setup. That's an entire set they're
you
going
have to give 15 points. There's still an option, and it's not like you want that to be in your face.
No, but yeah, they also have toughness, so it's going to be a little bit harder to really deal them damage. I guess you're going to have to then waste more points on them for the one shots, and so by the time that they're potentially dead, you've already given up 25 points. So yeah, there's more work to that.
What are you talking about with the occupancy with occupying his marker?
He can't, when he moves, you place him in the marker in each other's square. You can't place him in the marker square because somebody's already occupying it.
Right.
Which means he can't do that.
So he was used against me though, that was never even a thing, because it would just be you TK him out, then he phases all the way over, he outwits something, and then he just goes all the way back and switches then. So there's no chance to occupy anything with the marker.
Oh, that's a weird way to play him.
He was playing him wrong.
He's not playing him wrong. That's how you can play him. It's a strategy, and it's super, super safe. And that's what I'm saying, where you do that.
It's super safe, but there's a reason why that spot team didn't beat the other spot team. You can still play something and do it okay, but it's not. Yeah, that's not the most efficient way. If he's TKing him out and then not, I have to delve into like how to counter that one. I'm just countering the pure aggressive one that's able to steal someone's terrain marker or whatever. So that way without wasting an action for TK, because realistically your TK is going to get you into a second attacker. You don't use TK on spot. That's the entire point, is that it's you don't ever need to use TK. He gets full map by himself with just moving.
I just wanted to point out that there is a lot of ways to play him, and so you need to be aware if you're just shutting down one. There's multiple ways that he can be a threat.
Oh yeah.
Pete, what did you? What was your take on him?
To answer the question, I think looking at Cyborg, I think he is an option. I think there's 3 keywords, maybe 4 that you could build around, especially in Silver. That would be a good. Robot and Celebrity jump right out at me. People have been building armor with some fun teams, but there's also an option for Teen Titans in Silver. I think another piece that didn't come up is you're really looking for something that affects placement, right? So there's Valeria Von Doom on Latveria, the 30-point
Yep.
chase from Fantastic Four, where you can bring him over, but if you get near her and you're placing near her, he's taking damage immediately. And he changes a lot going from that top dial 11 to a 10. You're feeling a lot better with him rolling a 10 against your team.
There was also the Venom Groot that's 35 points that does something similar to that. And then what is it? Oh, I mean, Mr. Oz, just in general, is like
Yep.
The Mr. Oz is only TK, right?
Yeah, but he also affects opposing TK. Like you TK, he places you back.
Yeah, if you're playing it like you say, so you have one of two options. You get that Mr. Oz, who would be a great butterfly swap. But yeah, you get the Mr. Oz that if they want to do the TK like you're talking about, it's a 2-square TK. And then if they want to do the thing like I'm talking about, you just do the rule of occupancy, putting in their marker.
Yeah.
So that gives you the option for two. So,
Bookwood, did you chime in here?
Yeah, I was looking at Legacy Collector and Legacy Nick Fury.
That's right.
I really can't think of anything else off the top of my head. It's kind of hard to defend against, but the rule of occupancy is a big one.
Yeah, I think it's really just know all the different ways that people are going to play him and all he does, because he does a ton of stuff. And if you only are planning on one way that he's going to get played, there's another way that works pretty well too.
Yeah, it's like Mystics. I mean, Mystics shuts him down because once he takes that Mystics damage, he's going to be in a little bit of pain. I really can't think of too much else off the top of my head. Like Miles and Dan would know a lot better than I would.
well, I mean, the perfect example if that's what he wants to do too, playing like that. Why not play the Captain America? Then if he wants to hit you from his home, now he's a -2 to his attack and damage.
Yeah,
about-
yeah. You just drop the you drop the marker and then
You know?
You talking about the arena marker?
yeah.
Yeah, that's a great reason to even play him, and he's already really good.
What about Mastermind? Like, can you if he hits, you just Mastermind that hit like
Yeah.
I mean, again, you
bystander.
play Jen Kale. If she's targeting anybody within 3 of her, like spots just his normal stats. There's no buffing you to 5 damage. It's just you are what you are.
Yeah, that's actually a good one too. You can still replace it with Sinister Syndicate, because even if you're not playing that, a lot of times people are playing team player for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you
I
can.
think Demon and Armor, honestly. Demon and Armor, because that way he can't modify or replace. I know it's 20 more points than Kale, but his survivability is a lot higher.
Way higher.
So that's another vote for Latveria.
Yeah.
What did you say
Prime or
before
Vel?
that?
Huh?
What did you say before that? What other piece?
I forgot. I'm looking at
You're
Prime.
talking about he's the Legacy Nick Fury and Collective.
What was in between those two, though? Before we were talking about the replacing and modifying.
Oh, that was Kale. And then Captain America.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Jen
Captain
Kale.
America.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm looking at Prime Marvel.
Oh,
from Empire.
you can also play the Prime Captain America at 45. Like I know, but he has good keywords and he makes you immobile. So even if spot hits you, you aren't going anywhere.
Yep. There you go. He would be a great butterfly swap, even as a prime.
That's true.
What about Time Dilation Spider-Man?
Get
Like,
out of
he'd
here.
be good
All
on
right,
Spot
we're
Runner.
going to kill that one right after Time Dilation Spidey. All right, we're going to move on now. Going to Anthony Barnstable. At H for H, what do you plan to stream? Focusing on Scott Porter games, focusing on top tables, focusing on specific players that the community is asking to be highlighted, focusing on specific teams or figures that are asking to be highlighted, focusing on the main events or the battle royales, or getting a mix of both. For the teams events, are you able to stream all 3 games from a given match at the same time? How many simultaneous streams can go at once? Can you stream the live auction portion of the event and the Hall of Fame induction? Can you please get pictures of the Hall of Fame plaques at Howard's store for previous year of Hall of Fame inductees so we can see a list of every Hall of Fame inductee in order of year of induction. Can you do some live streaming of a day in the life of a judge event staff and show us what the event looks like from the perspective of a side of the event of players may not be used to seeing? Can you do an interview with any of the event staff or just informal recorded casual conversations with event staff or players too? Can you report who wins fellowship for different things with photos or either video or text description about it? Can you highlight who wins BR champ and maybe give us some updates end of each day or during the day of how the BR leaderboard is looking and talking about things related to the BR championship? Can someone hold up a thermometer inside the venue to show us how cool it is? I like that one the best. Can you live stream playing a VR game? Can you stream an unboxing of your VIF package? All right, Dan, answer that one.
Okay, so obviously this is like a very like Scott Porter event. It is H for H. I do want to get as much of Scott playing as I can, so obviously he's going to be a primary focus of any time he's playing. Obviously top tables are still a big deal, but I love your suggestions of some of the smaller side stuff. I do only have 2 cameras with me. If I can make use of any of the other equipment that will be down there, I will try to see if I can set up anything else. We can only live stream potentially on 3 devices at a time via YouTube. So that will be the max of things that we could have going at the same time, because you can have 3 separate stream keys and do that. But I certainly am capable of, as long as I have a camera, I can take pictures of all the other things that you mentioned, whether it's the auction or any of the other stuff that's going on, stuff like that. I mean, that's a lot to capture, but I think it's doable. It's just more of the like planning ahead of time of, okay, this is where this is going to be as far as like camera setup for recording, like what we're recording, and then okay, all right, so I need to be here to take pictures at this time, things like that.
So one thing I will say is if there are, so whenever these are going down, a lot of times mid-event people are talking, round 2 or round 3. HC Units makes it so easy to track the event and all the teams. And so if there are teams that you want to see being played, just in the like the YouTube chat, just say, can we get a look at this player next round or something like that? I think that's probably something you could do, right?
Yeah, exactly. If someone's like, "Hey, this team is cool. We need to get you on stream," then I can easily move the setup. Like my setup that I have for streaming is very like low impact and can easily be moved. So, because it's pretty wireless for the most part until I have to plug things in to charge it, because it just can't run all day. But yeah, that's definitely wouldn't be a problem at all. So.
Yeah, so if there is a specific team on any of the days that you want to see because it just looks cool or sounds cool, just send a message in the YouTube chat and we'll pick up on it and try to get them up on the stream.
Get Dan a GoPro and a bunch of battery packs, and he'll make it happen, especially the day in the life of a Daniel.
There's some potential there, Dan. This might be your time to shine.
That's a little too intimate for me. Sorry, folks.
Premium Patreon content.
Give us some time. We'll get you there.
I can imagine him walking around strapped with batteries and cameras.
I like the GoPro idea, honestly.
Strap it to his head.
What quality of life improvements would you like to see What quality of life improvements would you like to see that were either implemented at Adepticon 2025 for the first time or something that you have thought of since Adepticon and want to see started? Adepticon was great, and I think it's really showing where the HeroClix events are headed. I prefer the Team Sealed events to be like it was at Adepticon, just 3 rounds and then prize it out and it's done. And I'd like to see more silver events. I wouldn't mind a theme event. I think the 3v3 constructed that's at Rock Cup is really cool. And I wouldn't mind seeing the duos type of format that we did where you actually have the both players on the same map that we tried out like a month or so ago.
Yeah, I'd like to see the duos again. For the formats, I want to see more of a push for theme format. Honestly,
yes.
We just haven't seen enough of that.
I really like that. Like I'll second the team sealed. So besides Worlds I like the team sealed championship that I like. But anything else, I actually really like the team sealed format. The 3 rounds was nice because it was nice to just not have an event that went all day. Like especially when a multi-day event, it was nice to have a bit of a shorter day where it was like, oh cool, hey we're done already, awesome.
Yep, I agree. I think the team format is great because you just get your 3 rounds and you're done. I think providing with quality of life stuff is making sure that in the places that the events are held, there's access to refreshments.
Yes. Oh,
Is a big thing, or time to get out into the area and maybe explore the city a little more, especially for people traveling. People have talked about where Huntington's takes place is actually kind of a cool little town. I've never been there, so I would like to go and check that out on top of playing Clix.
Now,
The space camp is awesome.
Bookwood, you went to Worlds, and that was like the biggest event that you've done, or the only event that you've really done, right? Last year.
Yeah, well, I went to Adepticon last year too.
Oh, so that was your small. So okay, so from someone that has only done Adepticon 2024 Worlds and Adepticon 2025, what do you think has improved just with the way that events are ran?
First of all, HC units is a godsend. Everything was like from Worlds to Adepticon this past one. Everything ran so much smoother. Having food like being at the Bard Center was pretty cool because there was like food vendors, and then if you wanted to, go out in the street after your event was over, you could like see the town or go to like the restaurant down the street. If you want to pay for overpriced pretzels, you could have. Um, it was just like the flow of the events, you remember Worlds, how terrible it was because of the mass amount of people. Like that's just the main
That
thing is keeping the events moving.
Now that was the best Worlds that's been ran, though. Just so you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, like multiple people said that. It's just like I remember like the transition from round to round from Adepticon to Worlds. It was night and day because we were moving at Adepticon.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't like
Worlds,
the hour and a half between rounds for Worlds?
no, because most of my games got cut short,
Yep.
and it was just like using HC units. I mean, at Worlds there might be a lot more traffic this time around, but it worked better at Adepticon. I mean, that was my biggest thing is that, and then having food and drink or whatever to keep me refreshed during the games. And I like to see more formats. Like theme is like I like building theme. That's always fun instead of seeing worrying about juice on the sideline or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the duos format was actually really fun. Obviously, me and Dan won that duos format on Saturday, but that promotes more teamwork and communication with your partner. Which is never a bad thing.
You're talking about more of the 2v2 though, or a
yeah,
2v2. When I
we're
say the
talking
duos, I was talking about that one we're on the same map.
Any form of
Teams.
team activity.
Constructed teams.
Yeah, constructed teams like the team sealed was fun 'cause we're all like we're using a brick and giving out pieces like who can benefit most from this. Just whatever promotes more team building and like interactions with each other. You learn something from somebody else all the time. So I think more of that is always a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Did you play Team Sealed at Worlds or no?
No, I didn't have a team.
Okay. Did you like the way that it was done, where it was just 3 rounds and done
Oh yeah, it was it
at
was it
Adepticon?
was a lot better than doing. Oh yeah, it was a lot better than doing like 5 rounds. It was really fun.
Okay. Yeah, I really liked it. All right. What is your last minute sales pitch to motivate more people to go to HeroClix for Huntington's? I think it's one of the biggest events of the year. So if you're able to make it happen, make it happen. Do you guys have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I think Huntington's is probably one of the best prized out events, honestly, as far as like what you can get while you're there. Like there's so much that they're throwing into this, whether it's like Connelly's or maps or whatever. Like there's so much stuff available. I mean, there's the opening event on Wednesday night. I think this will be like a very well prized out event. I think that should be like just as much a big of a selling factor as like, hey, this is for a really good cause. It's charity. I really like the community really showed out last year, so I can't wait to see what we do this year. That's my sales pitch for it. It's like at the bare minimum, it's a really well prized out event. I'd say like on par with Adepticon. So you're definitely getting your money's worth for going. I know that the traveling's a little rough, getting to there, but
Yeah, but if they haven't been to an event where you're at, I mean, I think it's a perfect example of like it's a great reason to go there is because you get to see Dan, one of the most handsome, I would say arguably the most handsomest man in HeroClix, and I don't think there's a better opportunity to go outside of the charity, and then just meeting other people. But I mean, you get an opportunity to meet Dan, and that's a highlight in of itself.
Here's the pitch. Do you like? Oh yeah, here's the pitch. Do you like HeroClix? Do you like Scott Porter? Do you want to hang out with Handsome Dan? Get yourself a ticket. Get yourself a bus. Get yourself a plane. Get yourself 2 trains, a plane, an automobile, John Candy, and get your asses down there for HeroClix for Huntington's. Let's go, community.
I didn't realize you were getting an actual pitch. Bookwood.
That's what he asked for.
It is.
How do you beat that?
You don't.
I mean, like the only thing I can say, it's it's for charity and it's the community. I mean, once you experience people like the HeroClix community at its full power, where you got all the the big name players there, it's actually pretty cool once you finally get down there and experience it. And then obviously the pricing is a lot better, and it's going to be well worth it.
Yeah, it is just one of the biggest ones of the year. So I mean, if you like Pete said, if you like playing HeroClix, you'll like this event.
So if you were to rate this event as WWE pay-per-views, what would you call this one? Like Worlds is obviously WrestleMania. What would this one be?
Ooh,
SummerSlam?
That's a good one.
Money in the Bank.
Yeah, that might. I don't know. What are the big four? Are Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, and Survivor Series but I don't think it really is anymore.
No, Money in the Bank is like the new Survivor Series. So I go with Money in the Bank.
I want to congratulate Bookwood on actually asking a question during listener questions and not a statement.
Didn't write one in.
He's learning.
I mean, maybe it is Money in the Bank. I mean, SummerSlam, what would that be?
I'll go with Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that's the one before WrestleMania. And are there any other events between now and Worlds?
Well, yeah, we have Origins and
Origins.
Yeah.
And you also have Adepticon. So Adepticon is going to be...
Adepticon's great, but it's still like one of the smaller ones.
Yeah, it's not quite as big as.
And don't forget Champion Clix. I mean, that's my SummerSlam right there is Champion Clix.
Yeah, I think Adepticon is like Great Balls of Fire. Doesn't happen every year, but like when it is, like it's really good.
I would just it's more like Backlash or something. Yeah, on a smaller or a smaller scale.
The Great American
Starcade.
Starcade.
That's a good one too. Starcade was great.
Then Anthony has a couple of... Nope. No, we're not back in Starcade.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about Starcade, maybe All Out. You throw it in there with All Out,
There's so many terrible pay-per-view names that are just dead or only saw one outing.
Bragging rights.
Yeah, that's one.
Or that piece of shit.
Bad Blood. That got a couple.
What was the one during COVID where they tried to make it like a horror movie where Mysterio allegedly lost an eye?
Oh,
you guys remember
Rules.
that one?
That was Extreme Rules, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was so
terrible.
bad. That was one of the worst things ever in the 25 years that I've watched wrestling. Mysterio losing an eye is easily the top 3.
You have not watched enough wrestling, sir, if that's top 3 for you.
That's probably true. But
Yeah,
they spooned his eye out and then he popped it back in. It was pretty bad. And they showed a fake eye. It was terrible.
I get it. There's worse out there. The Sting Vampiro from WCW back in like the late 2000, early 2001.
Oh, brutal.
What about I got
And
a
it
list
shouldn't
here.
have
What
been.
about In Your House 8, Beware of Dog? Miles, you know anything about that one?
Yeah. Yeah.
We got Great Balls of Fire. I don't even recognize that. And Taboo Tuesday. Remember that one?
Yeah, Taboo Tuesday was
I love Taboo.
The one where you
The
voted
fan vote.
online. Yeah. All right, I'm going to circle us back to the listener questions here. So Anthony has a bunch of requests. So if you can help Anthony out with these, please reach out to him. If anyone who is attending H4H hasn't bought a VIF package yet, can you ask them to message me and I will personally pay for it, and they can keep the VR wristband, and then I can donate the other prize contents to IPF, like Select Daredevil, Electra, Kanto. Can you let people know that if they have nothing to do at any given time, I will pay for their BR entry on the condition that if they win Phoenix, they donate it back to me for use by the IPF. Additionally, if anyone playing in BRs wins Rock 2025 points they don't want, I'm collecting donations to help more players qualify for quarter or semifinals. Can you ask players that if they are on the fence about going and that 75 to 150 Rock 2025 points would motivate them to go, please reach out to me. And then last, can you ask players that if they have any unused Rock 2025 points they would like to donate, please reach out to me and I will pay for expedited shipping in an envelope to get them to players who could benefit from them for this coming weekend. So yeah, if anyone can help out with any of that stuff, reach out to Anthony Barnstable on Facebook. All right, going to Wes Robertson, who has learned to condense all of his questions into one post, which was very nice. There seems to be a wide range of opinions about this set. Each podcast has vastly different views on a lot of the figures. What makes this particular set cause the variety pack of opinions? I think it's really just a fun, well-designed set. So the negativity comes from people that just need to complain, kind of like what we were talking about before. You know, if you don't enjoy cliX on many levels and you only see like one side of them, maybe that's a reason why you just don't have as much interest in it. But it really offers a lot.
I mean, yeah, it's like if you play only modern, you're only going to look at like what is like modern competitively viable, and there's not as much in this set. But, or at least I think what people automatically gravitate to, right? I think there's plenty of things that are viable but aren't necessarily like auto plays. So I think that's certainly like a lens where people may like, oh, there's not a lot in here that's great, but it's
we've had things that have been similar, and like we're a lot of the podcasts too, like they're banking on something that's going to be good and because it looks good on paper. And I think now where it's like, well, even if it's good on paper, like we haven't seen anyone play it, and then so we're just gonna, it doesn't fit our play style, so we're just gonna shit on it. I mean, it could be as simple as they just don't, like everything that set's doing. Like it's not interested them for their play styles. Like that's literally why they just don't like it. They don't even care to look at it. I think we saw that from. I'm trying to think of the last set that was almost like what Wheels was, where and then slowly but surely pieces have been coming, and showing that they are good. People just didn't need to give them a chance.
Definitely, yeah.
There's a lot of times people they're doing one of two things, or maybe both, but you're listening to other people tell you that these are the only pieces that are worth playing, and that's what you're seeing. And so there's no creativity, there's no people seeing potential. It's you either look for the piece that's absolutely going to be the money piece out of the set, or somebody tells you that that's what it is. You're not like being creative or looking for potential.
But all you got to look at is the price of the chases. Like all the chases are actually still selling for a decent amount, and it's been released for a while.
Which, I mean, for cliX it has been, and they're retaining a price. I mean, with what was the last set that we just got? Spider-Verse. Yeah, there's a few Spider-Verse ones that, a week or two after we're already going for, I think like what, $40?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah,
35.
Yeah,
like Craven is like 30 right now. Like he probably dropped the hardest.
which is
Vulture.
Vulture. Yeah, that's another good one.
I'm thinking of like swing in price though. Like Craven was amazing. Like everybody was like, yeah, trying to get top dollar for him before, and then like the set dropped. And I mean, he probably swung the hardest as far as like where he started and where he ended.
I think the only one that's going for relatively low is Captain Marvel. Otherwise, Freya, Juggernaut, Magneto, Captain America, Hulk. People were sleeping on Tony Stark, but I think that he's gone back up.
As he should.
Yeah.
That piece is insane.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's great. Yeah.
So again, but like some people are only looking at the potential of these, or it's a cool character. Like Magneto's like an amazing sculpt, Juggernaut's a fun character, and that Captain America's awesome. And so those are the only three pieces that are on people's radar. But when you look at all the potential of like Freya or Tony Stark, like those pieces are awesome too. Even Hulk, he's 150, but there's something there.
Dude, this is the first set in recent memory where I like every single chase that's in this set, and I wouldn't be disappointed by pulling any of them.
And that's a big deal.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
That's
They're all
huge.
like good in their own right. Like I wasn't sad when I pulled Magneto. I was like, cool, Mags.
Like, what's the Spider-Verse? It's like you could pull like a piece of shit chase and like, wow, like I just got screwed, or like not pull a chase at all. Like you pull a chase in this brick, it's like, oh, they're all good. Like Captain Marvel, she's high points, but she can be really good, and nobody's like really tried with her. But you look at her on paper, she looks decent. Like they're all really good. Like even the super rares are pretty decent too. Like all around, this set is really good for the average casual or the competitive player.
Oh, top to bottom, it's really good.
Yeah.
The worst characters are legacy cards. Red King.
Yeah, I mean when you're saying the worst characters are legacy cards, I mean that means the rest of the set's really good because these older pieces, it's hard to make them efficient. They did it with Green Scar somehow, but
Even him, I think he's actually one of those on paper figures. Like realistically, he's not going to be easy to pull off, and he's not easy. I've tested him, and it's
no. But when I was looking at him for like possible legacies, like you look at his like 236 points, and then his old combat values. Like
they did the best they could for him. Yeah, he's
like
you can't
going from what he was to what he is now. It's like night and day. Like that's the kind of shit like, for these older pieces. Like one day I hope Bet Soups gets the same treatment, like his inflated point cost, and they work him into something like this just so I can play him again.
But going back to like you're not mad about any of the chases that you pull. I mean, even the super rares, every single super rare has potential on a really good team. The rares, they're either there's a little potential there, or they're just fun with a ton of flavor. And even look at all the uncommons. Quicksilver is not amazing.
No, the rares. You go to the rares. It's like you look at Destroyer Armor, Prime. Like Prime Destroyer is a rare Prime, but Rhino. He works very well with Sinister Syndicate. Giant Man 2, put a bike on him and he's a beast.
Right, this set branches out and makes other sets better, which sometimes that's all a set does, but it's amazing within itself as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, like even the commons, you got these, you got the construction crew, the
Absorbing Man,
who's going to be good
if you can find them all.
Absorbing Man. Yeah, that's why I didn't say Absorbing Man, because nobody could find the blue one. You got Hawkeye.
I mean, even
everyone's
Thor,
got Hawkeye.
I was gonna say Thor is amazing for 30 points.
Yeah, Thor at 30 points with the what was it, the Empower or whatever, and the Flurry. It's like top to bottom. This is a good set. Like the Arrow, that thing's a beast and a half. Like I didn't like, and she's cheap, and it's a good budget support piece. Like she's cheap in points and cheap in price.
Yeah, so
you probably find it for like $5-10.
Even Constrictor, who I think is probably the least desirable of the super rares, is still really good.
I think I pulled him in pre-release. He's amazing. Like you said on the super rare podcast, he gets by Mystics with his attack power. He just doesn't look cool.
Yeah, if you're not excited about the set, then it's really, you're just not looking deep enough, and you have a very single trained mindset when it comes to HeroClix, because there's just way too much to like in this set.
So one thing you said earlier is that this set enhances older sets. Cinder, does she interact with fire smoke terrain?
So
Yeah,
as
she
of
does.
no, she doesn't, because it just says
Oh, she
fire.
does?
It just
Oh.
says fire terrain. So unless that is a like a typo that they have to address, and didn't they already put out their errata list for this set? And there's not much.
Yeah, they didn't.
Hers is fire. I think hers is what is it?
Hers is
read
fire
again. Hold on.
terrain or fire marker. It's not even
Yeah.
terrain.
Yeah,
No, I
I'm-
think it's. Hold on.
That's got to be a typo because she generates fire
So-
smoke terrain.
No, she says
markers.
fire smoke terrain, which is what the old fire terrain markers were, because they were fire smoke terrain.
So her trait is just talking about. Her trait just mentions fire markers.
Oh, yeah. So that that would have to be fixed because you know it's implying to her fire smoke
It
terrain
is
marker.
implied, but yeah, that's going to be an argument that you're going to hear people. Well, actually,
Yeah,
you know,
I know, but yeah, I would say like she interacts with other fire smoke terrain markers because that's what she generates is fire smoke terrain. Other characters make fire smoke terrain. Heck, even the black heart that's now super bad should technically be able to interact with her.
Okay,
Well,
yeah,
they
her
made the
trait
argument,
needs
like,
to be
you know-
edited. I didn't read the fact that the War is Hell one references fire smoke terrain, but the trait
Like
only
Ghost
says fire. Yeah, so it does need to say fire smoke terrain markers. Otherwise, it's not even terrain if it doesn't say that. But you can
No,
it's implied.
yeah, like okay, I know you love shitting on this piece, but that Ghost Surfer from Wheels of Vengeance, he creates fire up to 4 fire smoke. You put him out.
no, yeah,
up there
40
at
points now. All of a sudden, yeah, that's there's something there now.
and then if you
Ghost
give him
Surfer-
Cathan, you put him on his second click at 40, and then all of a sudden, damage dealt to opposing characters occupying fire terrain is penetrating. So there's something there. It's something you can do. I know he's still not good, but it brings new life and possibilities if you want to go for that fellowship.
I played Cinder in a battle royale in Sealed, and I actually just did a constructed team with her on Monday. She is a lot of fun, so there could be some potential there for sure.
A piece like that, like it goes back to older sets where it enhances them, gives them new meaning.
Which is great. That's what they should do.
Yeah, they should keep these like not necessarily like gimmicks going, but like the fire smoke train was a neat idea, and it's cool to see it rehashed with a newer figure.
Yeah, they should definitely keep doing any kind of terrain like this or revisiting other terrain. I like that a lot. His second question is, what should every 300 modern competitive team be prepared for? Ultra Chase Collector, high defense, rollouts? Yes, all of that. I think that's some of the top stuff. What are other, like that's like some of the top stuff right there. You have to have a way for plants. I think that's still going to be a thing. And then obviously spot, like we were talking about before.
Yeah, and that pretty much covers. I mean, that's realistically right now what's going on there. I think to be prepared for that. But there's also corner cases too of like figures that have come out recently that could be played, especially because I know he's building for Origins. Someone's going to try that 295 point Magneto with Timebreakers. There, so I mean, I know it's gonna be rare, but like just put in your mind on like how you would deal with a figure like that, because that can completely disrupt your team. Because since you get -1 to your combat values for every action that has finished. So
yeah, this is the first time I think we've seen this many potential tentpole and one-man armies, like different viable ones.
Yeah.
Any other archetypes you guys think are really hot right now that you need to be ready for?
Juggernaut, Hadari Yao, people are just forgetting about her for some reason.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like those types of teams. I mean, there's still Colossus. Like he's not going away until rotation, and he's still just as good as the day he came out.
Right.
Yeah, people are
And
forgetting
now
about Yao. Like she's still a thing. She's not as hot as before,
but she's still really good. Yep.
You'll see her for sure at Origins for sure.
Yeah. And then, I mean, Kong is still not dead. He's still 50 points a great. I mean, we saw somebody place, top 8 with double Kong. I mean, not for nothing. Like, that piece is still really good. Like, he's still just a great 50 points.
No, I just think Don't Die you still should be aware of. I know Legacy Leader's coming, but without the butterfly swap, you got to really kind of build into that. So I think there's a lot of things with still Death Metal Wonder Woman, Prime Panther. And to go back to the first question, I think with anything you should keep in mind when you listen to podcasts is that they all kind of have their focus. So that's kind of where you're going to get the varied opinions. And that's all I can say about that.
Yeah. Well said.
Yeah, I agree with that very much.
All right, going to Westpool. Why is Aquamiles hiding from me? Is he on a plate at Red Lobster?
You know,
Is it Endless Shrimp?
I mean, it could be. I don't know. He just hasn't been seen. But I mean, because like he was here, he blew up, like at Worlds, and then all of a sudden he was gone.
Like a fire rocket.
It's performance anxiety.
Yeah.
All right, going to William Day Roker. How much would you pay for a Phoenix bystander at the auction? I don't like fielding bystanders. I like my 3D pieces, and I only really do it if it makes my competitive teams a lot better or fills that hole at a small point value. So 50 points or $50 is ideal. But like as a collector, I might go a little harder when we start getting down to the last few. It's great for the points. I don't know if it makes any of my teams, and I never played any of the other H4H bystanders either.
Yeah, it's hard for me. I'm not sure. I guess, $25, $30 for it. I don't even know if it's going to make my team because like that thing is going to see tons of play, which means that's going to be like that Mern and Rivalry is just like, that's why you don't want to play it yourself. Because you're just, if you're playing it and you don't have Mern, like you're kind of hurting you're giving your opponent an advantage.
I think this piece is way more hype than its end of it's going to be. Honestly,
it's great, but yeah, it's Mern just completely yeah.
I mean, just in general, like it's good, but it doesn't affect your theme. Like it we already know untheme is really good. This gives it a marginal increase after the fact, but it doesn't affect you actually having a theme. It's just another addition. Like if you want to play untheme, this is just another thing that's great for that.
It's the auction, so it goes to charity. So I'm gonna be willing to overpay for it just because of that. Personally, probably between $50 and $75, but that's with the caveat that this is going to a great cause.
Yeah, I agree with that. When it's something like this for charity, I'm much more willing to open my wallet than I would be normally.
Bookwood.
If it was on Facebook, eBay, I would just keep scrolling because it's for charity. Like $50, $60. Like I'm not a big fan of Pogs, even though I just bought Zenzi. But like this is gonna be on every team, like you said, and I don't know. It's just 20 points I get per Degaton, and I feel a lot better about the price I paid for it. $5 or whatever.
Yeah.
As to the 50 to 100 that's if not more, it's gonna go for. And it just gets one shot with my luck, from across the map by spot. So, I don't know. I'm like you. I would rather have 3D figures rather than a little poker chip. If I'm spent $100 on a poker chip, it better be worth $100, at the casino or something. But I don't know. It's hard for me.
Yeah, if I don't, I need one for sure at some point, but I might not pick it up at H4H if it goes crazy. Second question, if I ever have to pick walk-up music, which song should I choose? This is his legally required wrestling question. I'm going to go with, so he has Ramblin' Gamblin' Man from Bob Seger, Lose Yourself from Eminem, or Don't Mess with Bill by the Marvelettes. I'm going to have to go with Don't Mess with Bill by the Marvelettes.
Yeah, this was tough because me and Bill talk quite a bit, and like as the Elo guy, like none of these really like represent like the numbers,
Right.
and like the first song that came to my mind was Psycho Stick's "I Can Only Count to 4," and I want to now see Bill walk out to "I Can Only Count to 4." If you haven't seen it, Psycho Stick. It's hard for me to say currently. I Can Only Count to 4. Worth it. Best 4-minute you'll ever listen to.
With the Sesame Street guy?
Yeah, I can only count to 4.
Yeah. Or his drowning pool.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah.
Well, if we're going to Sesame Street, how about the have you seen that YouTube video of the count, but every time he says count, they bleep it out?
Yes, that was good.
That's my vote now. If we're just making stuff up, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't honestly know because so I haven't heard the one by Bob Seger in like so long, so I do not remember this one very well. I've never listened to the "Don't Mess with Bill" by the Marvelettes, and like I don't know if I'd want that to be my walk-up music is the one by Eminem, so I'm just gonna go with none of the three.
Yeah, he's from around the same area where Eminem was, but yeah, so you're going with "I Can Only Count to 4" as well. Good answer.
But I would like to shout out Mr. Rocher as I checked my Elo after the latest update, and I did not understand. I didn't feel like I moved the needle at all, even though I did relatively well at a couple of events. And he gave me a nice little breakdown of my own personal statistics. So I really do appreciate that because it was a nice little learning experience for me as to what I'm looking for, and how I can measure my own improvement. So. Thank you, sir. That was very nice of you.
Now, I will say that it's entrance music, Bill, so I'm not sure if we're just calling it walk-up music because you walk up to the table you're going to play on, but I don't like the term walk-up music.
I mean, well, at WrestleMania, they had to walk pretty far, so that was what I thought of.
I'm going to paint you boys a little picture here. Okay? Follow along here. It's the Raw after WrestleMania. All of a sudden, the lights dim. You're in Detroit. On comes "Lose Yourself" by Eminem. Out comes William Day Rocher as you strut to the ring with people in the background in the crowd chanting "Elo, Elo, Elo," and then he hits into the chorus. Yeah,
but
that's what I'm going with. "Lose Yourself," Bill. That's the music.
Just imagine it. I can only count to 4, and you have the entire crowd, from kids to adults to grandparents, because they can all count to 4.
Isn't there a band called the ELO? What is it? Electric Light Orchestra or something like that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, let's
just
get them to perform a musical version of "Lose Yourself."
Ooh, now we're talking.
That sounds cool.
Mm-hmm. Pyrotechnics and everything.
Eminem's "Lose Yourself."
Somebody play Williams' music.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Blue Sky. There you go. Evil Woman. That's it right there. Elo's Evil Woman. This is absolutely, Elo. Yeah, that's you can only come out to Elo songs. That's,
Just have them on rotation.
I think, hear me out. I think that entrance music should be a thing in everyday life. You get out of your car, you're walking into work, your entrance music hits.
Oh, full agree.
Just imagine how much better your day would be. 100%, right?
Yeah, I blast the same song every morning when I drive into work.
You want to go in like a badass? Have 2004 Kane's entrance and just, with Finger 11 playing. That come on, that's badass.
Low Chemical.
No.
Yeah, is that
Nothing will ever beat Limp Bizkit with Undertaker rolling down to it. That was peak. Everything after that, it's pretty much humanity's decline.
After he lost that.
Going to Peter Marshfield's question. I've been prepping for Modern and Silver for Origins. A real man plans ahead. In doing so, I'm coming back around to something Miles said previously, and god damn it, Miles, why you gotta be right? Why is past the future of cliX?
Miles is always on the cutting edge. He's usually way ahead of the curve every time. And I can vouch for this because I've played against him enough where I'm like, he'll play against me with something, and then 2 months later, that's what a chunk of people are playing.
I think that you saw the writing on the wall after Masters of Time. Like, they were really going hard with Past. And then ever since then, like, you've seen even more figures come out. It's just, Past is just becoming insane. With the amount of support, the amount of attackers.
They're just doing a really good job of taking a set and really focusing on a big, generic keyword or two. Like Brute was the smash and destroy keyword,
Yeah, and I think Brute has a potential to be the next Past. Honestly, like there's
a ton of stuff there.
Interesting stuff in Smash and Destroy with Brute.
Yeah, so I hope they keep doing it like this, where each generic keyword gets a little boost eventually throughout the sets.
Pete, if you want entrance music, I would recommend Seatbelt. It's great.
Okay. Not to derail it back to spot conversations, but Brute in this new set offers an anti-spot with Primus.
Yeah.
Oh, the placing. And if you play a whole whole Brute team, right? Because it works with just Brutes in general.
Correct.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, Pass got some good updates with the Caps Kooky Quartet with that Scarlet Witch.
Oh, they all have it, don't they?
Yeah, they all have it, and then the Magneto's got passed for some reason from Smash and Destroy. I don't know why.
Because he's old.
No, Pete's there on Primus. You get the Butterfly swap with Butterfly Swarms. They're gonna have to use them to waste actions to kill those swarms, or he can't place back in the starting area. I mean, that's genius.
I mean, you got Ulysses. You get Ulysses Bloodstone. I mean, you got tons of goodies when it comes to Past.
With that being said, what figures do you think deserve attention with the Past keyword, particularly in Modern? I still like Ulysses a lot. Maybe that Chase Agatha from Collector's Trove, and I don't know why we're not seeing more love from that Batman swap from Masters of Time. Maybe it's because they eat up the sideline, but they're so good.
Yeah, it's exactly it. I think it's the sideline there. Going through it, I think Agatha is criminally underplayed.
I think Capwolf is also criminally underplayed. I think he fell off. Like, he's still so good for 90, and with some of the things you can do with what you can put on the sideline for him.
So similar to Kong, where he got a little bit of a nerf because of the way, with the way that Hulk couldn't turn into Hulk anymore. So then people stopped playing him because everyone thinks that the pilot trade is just trash now. But he's gotten a lot of new options that are just insane now. And
you have Thanos and Zombie Scarlet Witch. We're both insanity when you call them out.
So he's definitely a piece to look at before he rotates. Anyone else have past keywords besides any of those?
Yeah, Balls of Fury, Nick Fury.
Yep.
Yeah, not for nothing. He's good. I mean, he's expensive.
He's similar to what Dan does with Odin, and you see how disruptive Odin is.
Whoa.
And you're 60 points.
Don't you dare speak ill.
What'd I do?
No, Rebman, not you.
Oh, what's he gonna say?
No,
Odin got top 4.
Oh my god. We were just talking about what Dan and Odin were doing.
Oh,
Legacy Captain America. He had a little bit of a spike, then nobody's talking about him anymore.
Yeah,
it's actually one that could get just lost in time real quick.
Oh, you mean the Legacy?
Yeah, that makes the bystanders.
Oh, yeah, he's great. I think it only becomes Keaton that sits on the sideline. That's the only thing messing with him.
Well, you can make an actual a pretty good actual theme with Chair Panther, and not feel cheap by making it like with Wakanda
or Warrior. Yeah.
No, the team up card, it sucks, can't be used with him because he would have been that much better.
Which team
Avenger,
up card?
The Cap team up card.
Oh yes, from the Kooky Quartet. Yeah.
Everyone just did +1 to their defense.
All right. In regards to silver, I'm still milling around with my detective build, and my question is this: my build has room to fit anywhere from 50 to 100 points of a figure without detective onto the build. Hooray, keyword cheating! These are the characters I'm seeking to fill the build with: Sky Tyrant, Arachnite, Juggernaut, Hidari Yao, and Saki. Is there anyone else I should consider? Is that going with
What's
one
the
of
rest of
his specific
I think
builds
that's
here?
what it looks like. Well, so one of them is 400. Okay.
And then the other one is
400.
they're both 400, so I'm not sure which one he's trying. Oh, well, which one is either of them detective? Yeah, the first one's the detective though.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. Oh, he has Sky Tyrant in it right now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Sky Tyrant's gonna be the best. I mean, he already has a belt, so.
Yeah, so and
Fine.
that's Sky Tyrant with the power gem. So it's Hawkeye with the trick arrow, World's Finest with Mjolnir, Sky Tyrant with the power gem, Shaggy Chase with the emotional modifier, Misty Knight with the reality gem, the Prime Batman, Green Lantern with the Green Lantern ring utility belt, the White Shirt Porter with Sinestro Core ring, and Commissioner with Nightbringer and Spin ring. This one seems pretty aggressive.
Oh, and he's already playing a prime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this is
I was gonna say,
pretty solid,
actually-
honestly, because
actually-
you're going into like an actual idea, and I don't think it's too convoluted.
Yeah, no.
I think this is one of the better ones you sent us.
Yeah, it's really it's cohesive, which is nice. I actually fit 75 point or fit well. The how much sideline space does he have?
It's full.
It's full. Okay, I was gonna say the dooms are always good because you have any of the dooms you can make that and they can swap out. So
Yeah, he's using 4 mystery cards that could probably be made into 2 of them.
Also, what do you think
Realistically.
about, like, we love the power gem, obviously, but changing that maybe to the +1 longsword, and that gives you 10 points for one-shots?
yeah, and then and the +1 longsword it's not as good as the power gem, but it is free and you're still at least getting CCE.
So yeah, you're not a guaranteed, what is it? So he'll be a 12 for 5. Yeah, so you're a 12 for 5, but with the longsword, you're a 12 for 4, and with the potential to deal, 7?
Wait, was this the Night Fist one we're looking at, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I like that on Tyrant too, because then you can. Does he have Ares? No, he doesn't have Ares. I was gonna say if he had Ares on sideline, you can do that with Sky Tyrant then too.
Yeah, so that's actually a great.
And he
Yeah,
has-
so take
how,
that out.
How does he have Twin Particles and not Ares? What? I'm so confused by this.
Yeah, I would take off. I would put longsword on there, get Ares on the sideline, and take off some of the clue cards, or what are they? Mystery cards. And then he's got another one, which is Wakanda Hulkbuster, so that can get the fuck right out of here, Peter. Avatar of Khonshu, Arno Stark with the power gem, Prisoner of Planet Doom with the +1 longsword, Demon in Armor, Captain Carter's shield, the White Shirt Porter with Sinestro Core ring, and a Weasel Pog. So no,
This feels very much like trying to do too many things at once.
and it's got Wakanda Hulkbuster. Get it out of here.
Yeah, that's a pretty bad start.
The detective team, I would take off Mjolnir and put in Spectral and Remaker Ring to give him another rollout and precision. Then +1 longsword. Free equipment's always better than paid equipment. Go ahead.
I would just say of the pieces you're looking at, I would look definitely at Saki and Sky Tyrant personally.
Yeah, you really can't go wrong with Saki either. But for this build, I like Sky Tyrant. I'm just making that little change.
What about Spot?
That's something you can do. That's modern, which he does have the points.
Oh yeah.
And then I think that was the end of Peter's questions, but we got, I think, 2 more, right? We got McConnell Lamar wrote in, "Hey gents, I might be too late for this one, but here goes nothing." You're not. We got you on here. Will you all be at HeroClix for Huntington's, and what event are you most looking forward to? So yeah, we went over that. It's only Dan that's going to be there. I personally am looking forward to seeing what people come up with for the 3v3 constructed, but also what ends up taking the silver main event.
I'm looking forward to the Scott Porter versus the world. I want to see Scott just wreck everyone and no one gets the bounty.
Now that would be wild.
I want to see Scott actually win. The Scott
Like
Porter
a
versus
fire
the world.
rocket.
That would be cool.
Yeah, exactly. Just like that. Just takes off.
Dan, what are you hoping to see while you're there?
I mean, this is my first one, so I'm excited for all of it. To be fair, I'm just gonna be like a, what do you call it? Like a sponge for all of the
Fanboy.
events that are happening, taking it all in. Yeah, exactly. I don't care. Like this is so cool, so I'm just happy to be down there.
Pete?
Silver. I want to see what hits the table in silver and what happens, and I want to get reports of how much everybody had a great time supporting a great cause, and I want everybody to confirm our suspicions that Dan is the handsomest man in HeroClix.
Bookwood?
I think the common answer is the team builds and how things interact with after the new rules and what still needs to be changed. Other than that, it's just seeing the events play out and pretty much it.
Yeah.
I haven't been there, so I don't know what to expect.
Second question. If you could create a legacy card for a carded pre-Silver Age figure, which would it be and what would you change? Miles, do you want to start with this one?
Yeah, this is actually tough. There was a lot. So I was thinking that if I'm going to do it, it has to be with something that I played like. And it's going to be the Starro Aquaman from Justice League 2007. I think it has to be that.
What would it do?
I actually have it made. Let's see what it does.
Okay, yeah, it sounds like it was
Go back
really
into the
hard for you to come
Wayback
up with this.
Huh?
It sounds really hard for you to make up or come up with an answer for the legacy card you've already created.
Well, no, this is what I would pick is carded. This is like one of the best ones is the Starro Aquaman. Like if I was able to choose a legacy card, that's what it would be. That's what it is. So you have a trait, slave to Starro. When establishing theme teams, Aquaman gains the keyword of a friendly character named Starro or Starrofight. Aquaman may use Mastermind, but only to choose a friendly character named Starro or Starrofight, regardless of adjacency. He's 45 points. He has another trait. During Force Construction, all friendly characters with Dolphin gain Aquaman's keywords. He has Atlantis, Justice League Ruler. His speed power is a fish out of water, charge but don't have speed. If Aquaman occupies water terrain, +1 to all combat values. Free, place Aquaman in a square of water terrain. Yes, that's full map. His defense power is invincible, combat reflexes, close combat expert. If Aquaman occupies water terrain, he can't be targeted by non-adjacent opposing characters. Protected pulse wave. What do?
All right. Dan?
I'm gonna go with a very weird choice here because I feel like I could easily just go into what people know me for. So this is the first figure I ever actually played in CLIX, and this is X Nilo. So he's Avengers Assemble, and I think he could be updated to be like a really awesome I mess with terrain figure, considering we just had Smash and Destroy. And the Origin Bomb is cool, so I think having another shot at that would be fun.
Pete?
I would try to find the ugliest sculpt of all time, just so I could make it so that Redmond had to seek it out and buy it, and I would put a trait on there that says something about waxy sculpt, and that's all I got. Honestly, I don't know much about pre-silver stuff.
Wait, you don't own any white carded figures? Really?
No, I have some. I'd probably honestly, I think I'd probably look at like Clarion the Witch Boy with Tikal and just try to make them work in today's modern point system. That would be.
Oh, man.
I believe that's it. Or is Chaos Wars pre, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Chaos Wars pre.
Oh yes. Century Void. Final answer for 100 points.
Okay.
Does exact the same thing. Mm-hmm.
Wait, so you're talking about the errata version, right? Because that was pretty hilarious. So
No, pre-errata.
Oh God,
pre-errata. Yeah, and he can still pop out the Century and Void from the same set, and they're actually free. 0 points.
But do you have one?
Yeah, I would do Vet Superman from Icons, obviously. Drop him
He
to
didn't ask for that
100.
figure. He said a carded figure.
Yeah, it has to be
Ah,
carded.
But I didn't do that. So yeah,
But I didn't do
the
that, so
first
you
set
don't have
is
to do anything.
Avengers from 2007.
How about the Crisis Superman for the one with like do what is it? Hold on. It
Stuck on
says
the
it's still like 100
Kryptonians.
bucks.
What you mean the
Well, I
full
used to
the full range hypersonic? Is that what you're talking about?
oh, I'm pulling it up. It's from Crisis. It has a card. But there you are. Is that the one? He can use charge. He can carry 2 objects, and he can use them both in like an attack. It's from Crisis. He's 300. Is this the one? No, it's
Yeah, have him
this
carry
one.
2 terrain markers.
It's this one. He's 238. He can use charge and flurry. Superman can use super strength. Superman can hold 2 objects at the same time if they are both standard object. He can use 1 object per attack. I would just give this guy a legacy, drop his points like they did the Green Scar, and basically keep him as is because he's a beast.
They've done
Maybe
that
give
gimmick a
him
couple times where you can like they did it with the Thor with Mjolnir. They did it with the God of Strength Superman where you could pick up multiple objects and use them. So I don't see that I don't have any problem with.
yeah. I mean, that's something that
I'm
no other team
honestly
does now.
I'm honestly surprised, Bookwood, you didn't say Black Lantern Zoom, the Prime.
I've never
Yeah,
played it.
I was kind of waiting for that honestly.
I mean,
Oh, he's awesome.
I've seen him. I've never played him, but I can see he's awesome. But this one I remember I bought back in the day and I played it and it was awesome. And this is one I would like to play again. I mean, he could
I
still.
mean, and realistically, Bookwood's never picking a prime over Black Swamp Thing. So
I told you that's my ace piece for this year, and
Just
I stuck
gonna
to it.
shoehorn him into every build, no matter what.
I mean,
That's what I've done.
he
He's
played
worked.
out for you
He's
this
worked.
past weekend, so
Hey, what's the number one rule about team building? You always say pick a piece you like and build on it.
Yeah, I'm not
That's
saying
right.
there's anything wrong with that,
That's what I
except
do.
when you chose that piece
know.
to be Black Lantern Superman.
Well, I
yes,
I recognized my error and I made adjustments.
There you go.
The 1A Redman
But-
rule is no matter what you
but-
build, he's gonna crap on it.
Oh,
at least a
100%.
little bit.
That's why I said when he's like, "Oh, do you have a dumpster fire?" I'm like, "Yeah." I guess my team sucks, huh? He's like, "No, the terrain." I'm like, "Oh, okay." But in silver, once he rotates, I think Superman will be a better option. There'll be more options for him.
And
Okay,
I
I
look
expect
forward
to
to
see
being
you
able
play
to
in
shit
silver.
on you silverly when that happens.
Okay. I almost beat you one time with him, but it's all right.
But
yeah, almost only counts in horseshoes and grenades, buddy.
Correct.
All right, I'm going to go with the 031 Gambit from Wolverine and the X-Men. It's a pretty cool sculpt for back then, and he's got a special power on his first and fourth clicks. I think that would be cool to be just running shot and sidestep as well, both of them. And then give him traded stealth and precision strike, and then he could either choose range combat or close combat expert just because his values aren't great, especially as he starts dropping. So if he gets based or if he stays from range, he can choose either one of those. So that's what
That's
my
the one where he
answer is.
could use like objects and attacks and did extra damage or something like that.
Yeah, it looks complicated, so I just changed it a little bit to make him a little bit simpler, but still fun.
No. I just think that would be cool, like if he still used like an object in the attack, because it was a neat mechanic. Because I think I played him once. He was pretty neat.
Yeah, it says Gambit can use super strength, but he can't pick up or hold heavy objects. When he throws an object, modify his attack value by 2 and increase the damage dealt by 2. So something like that. It's terrain and objects have just changed, so it's weird to try to think about using objects instead of terrain, you know?
Yeah.
No one's
I think it'd be
like,
cool.
how many people do you see that just put an object on the map now? You know, like 0.
Oh yeah.
So it's just weird to think of him like that. It'd be a cool mechanic if they got it to work out like that, though. All right. Then he has seeing how great the Kooky Quartet 400 came out. What are your hopes for the Spidey set? I really like how the Kooky Quartet has like the 3 different point lines, so I hope they continue that. And then also, I just want that Venom to be awesome. We got pretty close. It was a pretty neat Venom, but I want an awesome Venom.
It's tough because I'm honestly worried that we're gonna get more in tune with the Wakanda forever 400 points than the Kooky Quartet with Spider-Man.
It's
Where those were fun, but
Oh, is there?
I'd like to
Is
see
there?
something closer in the middle.
Oh, there is a Spider-Man 400, right?
yeah, they've
Yeah,
announced
yeah.
that one, a
There's also
Guardians of the
Guardians.
Galaxy, and a Green Lantern one.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I need the Spider-Man one whenever that one finally decides to drop.
It's Spider-Man, Venom, Miles, and Gwen, right?
I think so. I love the Wakanda 400. Like I play a couple of those pieces in Modern, so I think they're actually really great.
Yeah, I thought it was a really cool set.
Yeah, they're just not my style. So that's why I like them. The Kooky Quartet, I really like them. Guardians is what I'm really looking forward to, but the Spider-Man one has potential. I really want them to make a good Venom. We've been close.
Yeah. That's my one want. Honestly, even if Spider-Man, Gwen, and Miles aren't that great, we've gotten a ton of them. I just need that that Venom to be amazing and very fun to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need like a really good top line and then like a good low line, right? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Like good at both point values, so you can be played on like a competitive team, but then if you want to beef him up for fun games, he can do that too.
Yeah,
I want him to
he needs
feel
to
like
be
the lethal
playable at
protector
full.
Venom.
Yeah, playable at full
I
for
want
sure.
to feel
Because they always break it down into the 4 pieces, so the top point level is always 100 points. So a worthy 100 point Venom is what I'm trying to say.
Got to be good. The Venom's got to be good. There's no other choice.
I think that's the piece that sells the set, right?
Oh, 100%. I mean, they're using the same sculpt from Spider-Verse, right?
Yeah, which is a cool one, one of the better ones we've ever gotten.
Yeah, I mean, I would love that sculpt and a good dial to go along with it. I mean, I'm still okay for Spider-Man or any Spider-Man. Where's the TK is free, like to emulate the web slinging, like where he saves someone and yanks them out of danger. That's what I'm looking for from a Spider-Man piece, where it's like a TK is free to target,
That'd be
Spider-Man
cool.
family or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a mechanic I thought we would have seen in Spider-Verse or
like when a friendly character is hit, you can place them adjacent or something like that.
Yes, like
Oh,
how
like
many
so
times
like
can you kill
the
somebody?
so like the Earth X one where he could he had like retail, but only if you targeted somebody that shared a keyword with him, and that's a little different, but something similar is what you're asking for.
Yeah, like like he'll hit someone with his webs and like throw him, forward, which is basically TK. Put him 4 squares. TK is free or just TK in general.
it worked great with the wall crawler too.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
you place him 4 and then you can place someone adjacent to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that, where he's like saving people and you can bring him with her. He's transporting.
Pete, any hopes for the Spidey 400 set?
Multiple point lines. The only other thing is I didn't actually know that they already spoiled the figures. So I would have liked like different versions of Spider-Man. I would have liked Peter Parker. I would have liked Ben O'Reilly, Kane, and maybe like Superior Spider-Man. But that's not what we're getting in this set. So other than that, just anything else to increase the playability of Spider-Man family. So and the multiple point lines is huge.
Yeah, so far I think we've gotten identical, even paint like jobs, right, from the main sets that these are coming from. Wakanda pulled from Black Panther. Obviously, what's the other one? Just like Kooky Quartet. I think we saw these pieces before we knew that they were coming from Smash and Destroy, and then these ones are obviously coming from Spider-Verse. So with no paint changes on any of them.
And then the same thing for Guardians. It's coming from Collector's Crow.
Correct. Yes, and then obviously Lantern Legacy for the Green Lantern core one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then the last question is from Caleb Cadu. Can Miles make a competitive team with Spider-Rex? Miles, go.
Yeah, potentially. I can't build it right off the spot. We'll see, because I have an event coming up this weekend, so we'll see how this event goes, and then we'll see if maybe in July Spider-Rex is seen on my competitive team.
I mean, Spider-Rex does have that, not for nothing.
Yeah, no, he is a figure that I do have on the back burner. I do like him a lot.
So we will circle back to him on another episode. What is your favorite food that you'd get up in the middle of the night just to eat? I have stopped doing that. But typically it's whatever leftovers are in the fridge that I just can eat cold real quick.
Usually it's pizza
That's a good one.
after we. But yeah, that's about it.
I have frozen grapes that I keep, so I will usually grab some of those.
I definitely did
Big
not
cotton
have
candy
frozen grapes on my
Oh, they're
bingo
amazing.
card.
Yeah, they're
Candy grapes are amazing when they're frozen.
exactly.
You have to try that.
And I don't feel bad about eating. It's like I get sweets without feeling bad about it.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Well, don't knock it till you try it.
Dave's hot chicken. And then I regret my decisions probably about 30 minutes later, but Dave's hot chicken. It's amazing.
A Hostess cupcake that I used to do, not anymore. I can't afford that anymore.
Oh yeah, those Hostess cupcakes got so expensive.
I get
They're
the
like-
ones from Walmart.
So you're going with the knockoff brand now, Bookwood?
Oh, I've always like the Great Value brand is way better than the actual brand. Like it's there's no contest.
Oh, I have to do the Hostess. The reason why is because the '90s. Pete, I'm sure remembers this. I'm not sure if Dan does. I know Redmond does. Where it's the shark. They got that fat lady in the what inner tube, and you have a shark that like shoots up, and he's like, "Where's the cream filling?"
Those were great. I love those commercials back in the day.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh man, I've never seen this commercial. Yeah, sorry, nope, I missed the boat on that one. I was 5, so yeah.
Well, Dan, there's YouTube.
Bananas too.
I'm finding it right now, Dan.
I just looked it up.
When does the auction start? It just started. It's Tuesday night, and it just started. And they're going to be staggering the end times, so it is live. What is your favorite hobby or activity that isn't wrestling or cliX? To say sand volleyball or video games, and I guess lifting some weights.
Rock?
It's comics. I mean, that's easy. It's comics, 100%.
I enjoy video games, gymnastics, and art. Yeah.
Frozen grapes and gymnastics. I was not ready for those, Dan.
No, now we definitely need Dan with a GoPro. We need to see a day in the life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would go with comics. Can you just imagine the GoPro on as he just gets in the fridge in the middle of the night? It's
It'd be amazing.
There's untapped potential.
Yeah,
I
it'll
would
be
go
on
comics and video games.
Yeah, that wasn't on the bingo card. Grapes and gymnastics. I mean, like video games. Used to play a lot. Kind of tapered off now. I like cleaning. It's kind of like a stress relief for me, and also like I like having a clean home. Like swim. My apartment has a pool. I like to go into and just chill and be at peace after a stressful day at work and dealing with the kids and kind of just like sitting outside when it's not blistering hot or freezing cold and just kind of enjoying like serenity and like the birds chirping and shit that you guys heard on my Discord during WrestleMania.
Okay. So like when you're cleaning, do you listen to Rainbow in the Dark? Like when you're vacuuming and stuff?
I've never heard that song, so no.
Well, you're going to, and it's gonna be one of your favorite songs.
All right.
That's a must in my household. When we're cleaning house, it's Rainbow in the Dark. Yeah.
All right. Well, we were on a good pace for an hour podcast, and we are just reaching 3 hours now. So let's go to final thoughts, Miles.
Yeah, no, I had a really good weekend and week. It was nice to get on talking to cliX. Letting Wes Poole interview me. It's actually an episode of DJ and cliX presents Miles lets Wes interview him. Yeah, that was really fun being able to open up and hopefully share some new stuff about me that most people didn't know. So, yeah.
Yeah, if you can check that out on Wes's Talking Clicks YouTube channel. I think it was a good 2 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah, just under. Yeah.
Dan, final thoughts?
Super excited for Rock Cup.
I really enjoyed Miles on Talking Clicks. and it much like our podcast turned into 2 hours when you thought it was going to be shorter.
Yeah.
But this is HeroClix for Huntington's week. Reach down deep into those pockets, get those dollar bills you've been saving, and give to a good cause, and help out Scott Porter and his drive to help people with Huntington's.
Yeah, I mean, piggyback off of you, Pete. Donating to charity is always a good thing. Do what you can. Don't financially ruin yourself, but donate what you can. My final thoughts is it was fun to, the event over the weekend was really fun to win, fun to play at. It was a good experience, and I look forward to going down there again and, doing what I can. Well, yeah, of course I want to win, but have fun. I don't care if I win or lose, just as long as it's a good time.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to the auction this weekend, especially come Friday night. And then next week we'll do a full recap of the HeroClix for Huntington's Rock Cup weekend, and then try to get our monthly game recap in as well if there's time. So lots to talk about then. But thanks for listening, and see you next time.
And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for ya!
Click it!
Like a fire rocket.